good people of the internet, and welcome to the Famiriety show for Wednesday, March 18th, where today it's all about Resident Evil Requiem, our review, our impressions, and a full spoiler cast. I'm your host, Ryan Tierney, and with me I have the man who finished this game 2 weeks ago and never let me and Curly forget about it, Mr. Dennis Lockard. And on the other side, I've got the opposite side of the spectrum, a man who clawed tooth and nail to finish the game last night at the sake of his own sleep and sanity, Mr. Curly.
Hello, I am tired.
He's a sleepy boy.
I'm sleepy.
If you're new to the channel, you can catch us live every Wednesday between 10 and 10:30 on twitch.tv/Curly Studios. If you can't make that because you're an adult who understands that the human body needs sleep, unlike our boy here, Mr. Curly, you can catch the YouTube VOD up on Thursday mornings. And if you're still too busy for that because you're trying to survive the latest iteration of Umbrella's zombie apocalypse, you can get us on the go on podcast services such as Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. But enough of the stuff you don't care about. Let's just get right into it. Gentlemen, this is our very first Fama review. The very first time that the three of us have ever, at least under this iteration of the podcast.
We're having a Fama baby.
We're doing it. We're reviewing a game a mere 19 days after its release, which, given our last attempt at reviewing a game after it released, which still hasn't happened.
Last was part 2. Spoilercast on its 10-year anniversary. Let's go.
A review 6 years in the running. This is a market improvement. Congratulations, gentlemen. We did it. We made it.
Yeah.
If you haven't played the game yet, we're gonna start off with first off, play the game. Get the game, play the game. But we're gonna start off with some surface level impressions, what we liked, what we didn't like. And then after that, we'll go section by section with some more spoiler heavy talk. So without further ado, Dennis, I'm gonna, as you are the resident expert, the subject matter expert here, let's kick this off with you.
But yeah, I love this game. From like multiple reasons. Like, I mean, just the base of how Grace's parts were designed to be like Resident Evil 2/7, and how Leon's parts were designed to be like 4. Just from that perspective, you're just getting like the best parts of Resident Evil in one game, but even then it's like evolved in its own degree. And then what I really like, even it's like when I was playing like that part, like basically the first half of the game, it's like, oh yeah, this is awesome. And then you go into the second half of the game, and as someone who has recently played through the entire mainline series and didn't expect to get really anything out of it, I was like, no fucking way. They're going like real deep ass into the lore and actually continuing the main storyline for once, which they haven't done in a long ass time.
Mm-hmm.
Since like Resident Evil 3 in 2012. Like, so yeah, I loved it. 10 out of 10.
Awesome. 10 out of 10. Let's go. So again, we're gonna do like semi-official review scores. I guess. I mean, do you want to give them now, or do you want to like? I guess you gave yours just now. You give it a 10.
You can just drop it after you.
Yeah, just
giving your short review.
When we're talking about it, yeah, we could just mention it whenever.
Dennis, talk a little more about your history with the franchise. Like what you said. I mean, you played through the entire series, but when did your playthroughs start? And how was your experience and the culmination of like everything you've experienced up to this point? Was it worth the amount of time you stuck into this franchise?
It was 100% worth it. I mean, my entire interest in Resident Evil started with that state of play where Resident Evil 3 remake was announced. And the trailer was so hype, even as someone who had no idea of the source material. And like I was watching that and it's like, oh my god, this is so sick. And people were like fucking flying off in the comments, like in the chat. And I was like, I want to be a part of this. Like, I want to know what this is about. But I didn't. I don't think I went into Resident Evil 2 remake immediately. I think I waited for 3 to come out, and then I bought both of them, and then I played through 2 remake, and then I played 3 remake. And then I didn't really do much else until 4 remake came out, and I played that. And then I played 7, I think that New Year's.
Okay.
And then I played 8 like a year later. Then in November last year, I was like, I should play Resident Evil 6 because I knew that was like the only entry that Leon had been in since 4 leading into Requiem. So I was like, I may as well like play 5 as well. So I played 5 and then I played 6, and I thought 5 was like pretty pretty okay. My biggest issue was like the controls. Because they're really old and tanky from a bad perspective. Then I played 6 and I enjoyed 6 a little bit more because it had more of a modern control scheme. But I mean, it was clear, very clearly like a linear action game. Like 6 is just straight up an action movie. Like I don't know. The biggest like thing with 6 is how they ever thought they could have passed this as a horror game. Like it's not even close.
Yeah, 5 and 6 is like it's a weird point in Resident Evil where it just feels like it completely lost its identity.
Yeah, it's a jump the shark moment for
It's
sure
like
for the franchise.
it was definitely at that point in time. It was like, well, we had some good Resident Evil times, but let's wrap it up, y'all. Like, we don't, it's best. Like I kind of am on the opposite where I prefer 5 over 6, mainly just I think it's more fun and arcadey, and 6 was just way too much, just way too much of everything.
Who doesn't love punching a boulder, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, it is crazy.
Then
the turnaround, yeah.
Then when I kind of took a little break because I didn't plan on playing anything else. And then Game Grumps started playing Resident Evil 2, the original. And I was thinking like, all right, yeah, cool. This could be a way for me to experience the original game. And I started watching it and I was like, this actually doesn't look that bad. So I got all the GameCube versions on this of the game
this dude
of the Resident Evil games 1, 2, and 3, and I played 2, and I was like, this is actually pretty good. I'm gonna jump into 3, and I played 3, and I started to realize why people don't like the remake. I played 1 remake, then I played 0 and then Code Veronica, I think. Then I played 1 again. But like as Chris. And then I played Revelations 1 and then Revelations 2.
Concerning amount of Resident Evil to play on one.
It's impressive. I'm proud of you. The commitment here is like I've tried exactly what you've done. Every time a new Kingdom Hearts game comes out, I get burnt. Like, and that's my favorite franchise of all time. I can't imagine the gauntlet of games you went through, all of them not good. Like this is not like the pedigree of games here. It's not like this is like a vaulted list. Like,
I would say like basically the only bad one, like the only actually bad one, is Code Veronica.
That's one of your favorites, right, Curly?
Yeah.
Well, you just need to experience Steve Burnside again, and you will realize why it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk about it whenever we get to me, but yeah, that was the first Resident Evil that I personally played, and I played it when I was young, and I mean, I definitely think that game is due for a remake, but for the time, I think it ruled.
All right, Dennis. All right, I'll leave you off with this. So you played through all of them. Do you want to spoil, like, is this game at the top of your list, or do you want to save that for some other content?
I can say that on my list right now, which is available to the public on ggap.io / Dennis Lofgren, I believe is the URL. It is currently on my number 2 with 2 remake at number 1. And the only reason right now is because I don't like to just give a new game the first place immediately.
That's fair.
I wanted to
That's fair.
to just take some time and think about it. But right now I do feel like it is the number 1. I feel like it's also number 1 to the extent where I want to add it to my top 10 of all time.
Oh,
But,
wow.
But at the same time, I feel like it's a little quick. And I might just be in like the hype zone for it.
Recency bias for sure.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna sit there until the end of the year, and then I'll think about it. I should also note that
for Game of the Year this year, right?
Oh, 100%. I also want to say that since I played Revelations 2, I have played 2 and 3 and 4 remakes.
Look, he told me he rolled credit, or he told us he rolled credits 2 weeks ago, and the next day that man's Discord said playing Resident Evil 3 remake. Man is sick.
I've played 2 actually probably 5 times. 2 remake, 5 times since then.
It's a masterpiece of a game, so I get it. I'm kind of itching to go back and play. I might jump into 2 remake or 3 remake before I move on to something else. But all right, Mr. Curly, you wanna sound off next?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, this game fucks. this game fucks hard, yo. No, it's
does this game fuck or does Leon fuck? Because,
dude, I mean, yo.
Porque las dos, you know?
No, dude, this game rules. I mean, I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not a coward like Dennis. This is the best Resident Evil game, like with a bullet. Because don't get me wrong, I love Resident Evil 2 remake. I adore it. I love Resident Evil 2. I love a lot of Resident Evil games, but like this game is like the greatest hits, but also achieving something completely new with the entire series. And like, I would honestly, it's one of those situations where like, man, I would be disappointed if we moved forward and didn't keep this formula going, because like I absolutely loved the pacing of this game and in the way that it mixed up, because like we mentioned, Resident Evil 5 and 6 have these weird identity crises. Like they came back with 7 and started doing the remakes, and you saw like, oh wow, they still got the stuff. And then like I never played 8, so maybe they had the sauce there, but like playing this game, I'm just like, dude, they not only found themselves, but they've exceeded any expectation I would have had for Capcom to make a Resident Evil game in the year of our Lord 2026. Like, because dude, this game is incredible. Like again, like one of the issues that I have with Resident Evil games is the pacing, and that lack of identity. Sometimes it's too actiony, or sometimes it's too cheesy, too cornball. It's all these things, but this game just nails everything it's going for in tone and pacing and just atmosphere. Grace's sections are fucking horrifying. They are like some of the scariest things I've ever experienced in a video game. Not necessarily like scary, but like the tension and the way they play with you in that character feeling so vulnerable is just masterfully done. I think again it's the scariest Resident Evil game I played. But again, I didn't play 8. And then you have the
Wait,
best.
you haven't played 7?
I've played a bit of 7, but
he played 7 in VR.
in VR.
How is 7
Yeah.
not the scariest one, especially in VR?
I think it's just like maybe I need to replay 7, but I don't know. It's something about. Don't get me wrong. I think 7 is very scary. It's terrifying. I was screaming every second, but like there were moments where I would be sitting on my couch, like there's only a few games where like I'll literally just like gutturally scream out of reaction, and like this game did that to me several times. We'll get into like the spoiler cast later and stuff, but like you have those moments, and then they flip it where it's like basically you're playing Resident Evil 4 as Leon, and you feel so badass. Everything that fucking guy does is so cool. Like, and yeah, it touches on the cheese, like the corniness, the campiness, because he has these dumb one-liners. But it's like, dude, it kicks ass. Like, there's a section of this game that like feels like an Uncharted set piece set in the Resident Evil world. It just like it's Resident Evil's action done the best. I think it does it better than it does in 4, and all of it is combined in this like lovely little gift bag of like Resident Evil 2. This is like a love letter to Resident Evil 2 in a lot of ways for like spoiler reasons we'll get into later. But like, yeah, I mean, it's as close to a 10 out of 10 a Resident Evil game could be. So that's what I would give it. I would give this a straight up 10 with a bullet. There are some critiques I have for it, but like as far as like survival horror games, this is like the best it can be, or at least the best that I've experienced out of it. I think this is up there with like the Alan Wake 2. It's absolutely up there with the Resident Evil 2 remake. And yeah, dude, I'm so excited for what the franchise does for it. I hope they keep this formula going because again, I enjoyed it. And man, I was never bored at all with this game. I was always riveted. I didn't want to play it because I was so fucking scared sometimes that I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. But it kept me going, and like then it's oh man, there's so many good moments in this game that it's like I couldn't give this anything less than a 10. It has that Silk Song flair for me where I'm like the entire time I'm just not playing it. I'm like, man, I wish I could be playing some Resident Evil right now. Like, it's a good game, y'all. Y'all should play it. I give it the highest recommendation possible. Do it.
Very nice. Very nice. So you get 10 out of 10 from both of you, right?
Yeah, dude.
All right. Time for me to tell you how much this game sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
1 out of 10.
1 out of 10.
Man, we've talked on this podcast a few times about like studios that are just like masters of their craft or like set the bar for a particular genre. And like my history with RE is Curly and I played an early preview of RE2 remake in 2019 at PAX South RIP. And that was like my real like first like foray into the franchise. And even then I was like, these guys are second to none, maybe second to one in some aspects, but for most aspects, second to none in the survival horror genre. This game feels like an amalgamation of everything that Capcom has been working on with the remakes, with the ventures into what they did with 7 and 8. It's like I said, it's that perfect melding of like classic RE with the gray sections, and then the over the top action and like amazing set pieces with Leon. I did big boy up for this game, and I played the gray sections, headphones on, lights off at night.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Hated and loved every single minute of it. It was I'm stressing about the munitions. Like, am I going to have enough to get through these next sections? I'm shooting zombies in the leg and just running past them. Like it's amazing. And it's so stressful. And it's like, oh man, well, if I don't kill these zombies, I'm gonna have to backtrack through all of them again. And I'm glad I didn't, because what this game does so beautifully, it's my favorite thing about this game, is the way you feel so helpless as Grace, and then it flips it all on its head with the Leon sections, and you go back through sections as Leon in these same sections that she was just in, and you just get to take like the ultimate power fantasy revenge on this on these zombies that are just making your life hell for the better part of your playthrough. It's an amazing feeling. It feels incredible. I think I started 4 before this game came out, and I wasn't loving my time with it. I think the action parts of this game are my is the lesser for me. Like I think I prefer the Grace more puzzly, scary not Metroidvania kind of sections, I guess, in a way. But I will say the gunplay in this game in the Leon sections and the Grace sections too, but more so Leon, they feel like playing Last of Us 2. Like the way the guns sound, the way they feel, the way they operate, the movement, not so much. I think that's the only place that I would critique this game is like a little bit of the pacing and a little bit of the movement. Like the characters just feel really clunky and real slow, which is fine for Grace, maybe not so much for Leon. But yeah, it's unbelievably impressive. I'll probably give it like a 9.5 because I think I'm just really excited to see where they go with the future. I don't want to box myself into a 10 when I think there's still a lot of room for like where this franchise could be, especially like when they get into whatever's coming next. But like I think there's enough here that I would dock it like a half a point for the way Leon feels in certain sections. It being a love letter to RE2 remake, or RE2 in general. Like, can we like maybe at some point retire the East Wing, West Wing thing? I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong, I love it, but like, I'd love to see them like iterate on that a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna land at a solid like 9.5 on it. I think it's unbelievably impressive.
I mean, that's 3 extremely high scores either way. And then yeah, that last thing that you said with like some of the critiques, I was thinking because the only like touchstone is the other game that I'm like so high on is like still Silksong for me. And there's like so many times I'm playing Silksong for the first time and I'm like, man, I don't know if I like this so much. And then like you get through the game and you kind of understand it's like, man, I actually really appreciate that thing I didn't like the economy, and for example in Silksong some of the movement bothered me in this game, but really later on in the game kind of enhances the overall experience for me. Like, cause like there's moments where your characters feel like they're moving so slow, but there's also moments where you hear, because the sound design in this game is incredible. You hear something coming up behind you, and you're just like, please go a little faster. You're freaking out. It's like I'm kind of glad that they almost intentionally just make you fast enough to get away from the thing, but still feel like it just like it makes you feel so fucking vulnerable. Where it's like I guess I can see like the reason of like Leon should be maybe a little quicker, but I did think that he moved a lot more gracefully, no pun intended, than Grace. But like your point to like the last one, it's not like you can do cool stuff like lay on the ground and like crawl around and stuff like that to like
no. But even Joel feels a little more like is better. Feels better to control to me than Leon does. Like it. I think, and that's the only comparison I got for it, because I feel like again, second to none and second to one in most categories. The only benchmark I have for this is Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
And as I'm going through it, that's what I'm comparing it. I think they're right. I mean, it's neck and neck, except for maybe just a few like outliers for me.
There was a couple times where I felt like I was like, man, Leon feels so like massive and like heavy, and like I love the feeling of whenever you like you don't go down a ladder, you just jump off and he hits the ground and the camera shakes and you're just like,
yeah,
like, man, that is a beefy man. God, step on me.
Step on.
It's just like, man, there's something to that I kind of started to appreciate more and more as I kept playing. It's like, man, I love the way he feels and moves, and just this fucking just awesome 80s action badass hero with like the one-liners, and like again, like it's he feels perfect to me, but like I definitely get where you're coming from. I do wish that there was a little more like I wish there was a little bit more built out in like the stealth mechanics, because like
Yeah.
There's a few points later on in the game where I'm like trying to be stealthy, but like there's only so much you can do. You can kind of just duck and cover, but like you try and kind of like get around and you can't really like toggle your gun too well, and then all of a sudden you're getting, got. And it's like, damn, okay, I wish the stealth was a little bit better, but at the same time, if it was too good, then there'd be no tension and stuff. Like, because like
Yeah.
Last of Us, I love the way it feels, but I've never had that much tension playing The Last of Us, except for like the weird water areas and shit like that.
I don't
It doesn't
I don't think
instill
I
the
have
same.
I don't think I have a big problem with Leon's movement in like the moment to moment combat, but where I feel like his movement suffers is in the boss fights. I think the boss fights, outside of one extremely incredible boss fight, which we'll dive into later, I think the boss fights are underwhelming in this game. Like, there's the one standout for me, but like he feels real clunky in these boss fights, and like they're over too quick. That's my biggest knock on this game, is how it feels during those set piece boss fights. It just doesn't it doesn't hit the way I want it to. I don't think they've quite nailed boss fights as a whole for the franchise. And that the only other place I would knock it, I don't even knock it that much because it's wonderful, but it's nonsense, is the story. The story is absolutely wonderful, but it's just complete nonsense. Like, it's in the best way possible. It loses a.
I think it's nonsense if you haven't played the right games in the series.
I mean, like, listen, I played a lot of Resident Evil. The story is nonsense, like, but that's what Resident Evil is, and I'm kind of glad that they're sticking through, and it all does end up making sense at the end of the day. But at the same time, it's just like, it's like, what? He's a clone of who now, and we're doing this and that. It's like, come on, man, I don't understand who you are anymore. This was fucking 20 years ago, and you're bringing this back. And it's just like, I love it for that. But at the same time, like, it is ridiculous. The story in these games is fucking ridiculous.
It's the Fast and Furious of the video game world. Like, that's what this is. That's why Dennis clings to it so like much.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's a good point.
Do you want to get into
Let's do it.
Spoilers?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. This is your spoiler warning, everybody. Go play this game and maybe come back after.
Yes.
Or if you don't care about spoilers, just hang out anyway. Jackass.
Dennis, do you want to read us through, or you want me to take the reins on it?
If you want to take the reins, you can go ahead.
I'm not going to read like beat for beat, but we'll just go like moment to moment. Like, so game kicks off.
Well, do you both have the
story stuff, or
do you both have the plot thing that I sent you?
Yeah, I've got it.
Yeah. Do we want to? I don't know. Like, how do we wanna? Yeah, I guess
I don't think we need to do like a story synopsis, but we can cover like the major beats of the sections. Like so the game kicks off. New setting, Renwood City. Have we been here before, Dennis?
No.
No. Okay, so we're at like an FBI headquarters of some kind, and we're getting to meet one of our dual protagonists for the game, Grace. She's gonna get assigned to go inspect a body that's been found at the Renwood Hotel. And we find out real quick that her captain is a dick.
Yeah,
like, hey,
this guy sucks.
I know your mom was murdered here 8 years ago, but it's time to get over that, dog. Like,
it's time to get over.
He has a line where he's like, it's been 8 years, so maybe it's time you get the fuck over it.
Yeah,
maybe it's time you face your fears. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Also, he sends her alone, which is
alone, and then we see how she died.
Yeah.
And it was fucking brutal, dude.
It's
my god. Rough. But yeah, I think let's talk about that initial section of like walking through Renwood.
Yeah, I thought that this was I expected this when I first started, because I guess I kind of stayed away from the trailers a little bit. I didn't know we were going to a hospital. I thought the Renwood Hotel was going to be the setting for the Grace sections, at least initially. I thought it was going to be a much bigger hotel. And I was feeling it. Like, I was like, the second you jump in, I was real stupid because me and Dennis had just played was Outbreak, and you go and you start off and you go to this little bar scene, and I'm standing by the bar and I was like, this looks real familiar. This is where me and Dennis were. And I stood at the bar and I was like, that's where I had trouble picking up that gun.
I mean, to be fair, isn't Grace's mom in that game or one of the games?
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is why I was like, oh, they're taking us
like, it
back.
makes
This is
sense.
But
it.
then Ryan was like, "Isn't this where we were in Outbreak?" And I was like, "Bro, that was in Raccoon City."
Like, we're not there. Before you get to the hotel, there's that moment where you're just put out into the hard streets of this Rinwood, whatever city that you're in. And bro, like, we're gonna talk about this on a different podcast, but like the technical achievements that this game has,
Oh my
kind
gosh,
of
dude.
cracked. Like,
It's gorgeous.
they put you just on the street and your first person lets you toggle it off, and like immediately it feels like that scene. I don't remember which Resident Evil, one of the dumbass movies, but like there's like a lot of rain and the black umbrellas and everybody's just walking by. Like it dude, there's just like so much detail already in here, so much of a vibe that like right off the bat you take control and you're just like, all right, this game's got the sauce. It's
Yeah.
saucing up all over me right now. Like, it's beautiful. And then like you immediately just go straight into this fucking awful place. This cop's like, hey, what you doing here? Why you by yourself? Your boss a dick or something? And then she's like, yeah, man, I'm here to investigate. And he's like, bet later. So you could have stuck around and made sure she's all right, but all right, cool. Because like
Well, he
immediately
does.
Well, he does. He follows her in.
you're right.
And she like completely ignores it. She's like, they said like this is the 5th body they found. They're finally gonna tear the place down. You think there's something you can find in there? And she's miles away.
Yeah,
She
she's
has no
checked out.
interest.
I love that though. Because it was almost hard to tell like that she was FBI by her demeanor at all.
Dude,
Like,
the most unconvincing FBI agent I've ever
Yeah.
seen in my life, dude. Like
That's the
Yeah.
thing. Like she's not like. I mean, she's an FBI analyst. Like she
right.
she has a desk job.
okay, that's
Which
fair.
begs the question, why are you sending her by herself? I could have sworn.
That's a really
I
good
could have
point.
sworn that by the end of this game, we would have found out that the chief or whoever that guy is was part of it.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he was part
Same.
of the setup.
I
And
think
I
I
can't
think
believe-
what they could have done to kind of to sell that a little better is they could have sent her with someone and had the police, when the police officer turned,
Mhm.
have him kill whoever is with Grace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just made for a more terrifying experience. So I was cool with it because, like, you automatically go in. The bathroom is disgusting. A bucket moves on its own. Shit's coming from the ceiling. It's like, all right, man, this is scary. Fuck. All right. You look through the door and you see a curtain blowing, and it's just like, oh man,
Yeah.
a dog's gonna come out and eat me.
Can we talk about that first? Like, it's not a jump scare, but it got me. The photograph, like when you walk out of the bathroom back into the bar area, and the photograph's just sitting on the pole, and it's like, I was in there
Yeah.
for like 2 seconds, man. There's no way. This is bull. What
Dude,
happened?
Going into which we didn't really talk about, but like my game clock said I spent like 11 hours beating the game. There's no shot, dude. I must have played it 25 hours. It's insane. I don't understand what the game is measuring clockwise, because this is embarrassing, but I was stuck in that area for no less than 15 minutes because I didn't find the photograph. So I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm scared. Help me. Someone come get me or something. Eventually I did find the photo, and then yeah, it is extremely off-putting. It's just like, oh, okay.
Wait, which
cool.
photo are we talking about?
The what's his name? Gideon leaves a photograph on the pole there.
Yeah.
And she picks it over. There's a key on the back. She says, "Come to room 204
Yeah,
or
let's
224 or whatever," because it's not there when you first enter the bar. Once you go into the bathroom and check out the stalls and come back out, it's there on the pole.
I don't think I noticed that.
Yeah,
I didn't
it
either.
got
That's
me.
why it took me so long.
Well, that doorway has like the perfect viewpoint of the
Yeah.
pole when you walk out of it. So it's man, it got me. I was like, this is already too much. So then you mosey your way up to the rooms, and there's photographs all over the bed, and Grace picks one up and has a nice little flashback moment, which I was sure we
Well,
were
it's
gonna
not
get some
just
more
photos on the bed. It's photos of her. which is fucking terrifying.
Photos
it's
of
terrifying.
her when she was there with her mom 8 years ago.
It's like, holy shit.
Dude, of her at her the photo that's on the pole is her walking like by her house, like by where she lives. It's a photograph of her on the street, and like that already is like, okay, all right, well.
And like a whole nother reason why I was like, oh, Chief's in on this shit. He never checked on her. He never called her, never radioed in. It's just like, bro, y'all need to communicate better. Like something's gotta happen, because I go into this fucking hotel and I see a bed sprawled with pictures of me and Mammy. Like, you gotta call that in, dog, immediately. Like, I know you're having a sentimental moment and flashbacking, but you gotta at least like, hey y'all, if somebody knows I'm here, come get me, please.
So at that point, what you get the flashback with her and her mom in that same hotel. She gets all spooked. She's like, we gotta go. She goes and hides something behind the giant like picture frame in the bar area again. So you head back down there. Well, y'all are going out, and she gets just absolutely like murked. Was it
very
like
abrupt.
an axe to the neck, and like it? That's visceral. Like you touched on it, Curly, but like knowing how she died now, it's like, man, this FBI guy, this captain guy, he sucks.
And I mean, it wasn't like
fears, bro.
It wasn't like she just got hit like this in the neck. Like Grace was like a couple of feet away from her.
Yeah. And also the fire involved too. Like, Jesus, fucking hell.
And I mean,
is this Gideon?
No, this is just a guy.
It's a dude in a cloak, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts looking ass.
Because I believe, I don't remember where you find this, but there's somewhere in the game there's a note or something about like how the fire covers up the fact that the guy was there.
Oh.
I don't remember where it is.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
But it's something like, oh, I think it's like way later in the game where you start to realize this is all like a conspiracy.
Okay.
But yeah, can we talk about this scene where like Grace is over her dead mother, and like the performance was like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like this like felt real. It felt like real visceral.
Yeah. That's the biggest improvement of this game is the voice acting is like top notch.
Yeah, it's great.
The acting was absolutely insane.
I love Grace as a character. I hope we see her in the future.
Oh yeah.
I kind of hope they don't badassify her, because like I really like the vibes of her being extremely vulnerable, but like still smart and still like capable. It's just like at the same time, she's not a fucking Claire or Leon type.
Well, they might not badassify her, but you can use DLSS 5 to yassify her.
Fuck. Yeah, that was good. And really bad. I hate it.
Yeah. But yeah, that was like, it's like, holy shit. Like, I did not expect that like level of performance from
I will say,
Evil game.
Not to take away from her performance, but the breathing or the gasps, like as you're walking through the setting of the game, it's the same audio clip every time. It's like, could we maybe do some other takes of this so it's not the same thing over and over and over?
I noticed that.
It never bothered me, but it did stick out, because at some point Alex looked at the TV and was like, Grace, breathe, lock in. Like, what are you? And then I was like, oh yeah, she is making like a lot of like I'm just like, damn, all right. And again, like, it is all convincing, and like, to be fair, if I was in that situation, I'd be blubbering. Like, I would be fucking that would be a mess.
How do we feel? This is a good point to bring this up. How do we feel about Grace's excessive stuttering?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I actually do not mind it at all.
I think it's great. Yeah.
What do you mean?
At least the first half of the game. She does.
Yeah, I mean, she like
She kinda
stutters
gets-
all the time.
I didn't.
I
Even
mean, like
notice.
when like the police officer is
You're
like,
talking about
oh,
like
can you,
this, like the scary stutter, like the
yeah,
please help me. Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. That was kind of a little bit much, but I thought you meant like she had like a speech impediment stutter. I was like, what?
no. But yeah, like just yeah, that's the like how she's struggles to talk a lot in
Yeah.
the game.
I think I noticed it a couple times where I was like, all right, you can calm down a little bit. It's gonna be all right. But
I didn't really mind it. I thought it was nice. I mean, she's like so
yeah,
completely out of her element. It's not even funny.
yeah. I guess anytime I notice stuff like that, I was like, yeah, that would be me. I would be fucking stuttering, blubbering, fucking. I'd be dead. There's no shot I would have survived any of this. I'd be dead. First scene.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm out.
I wouldn't have been there in the first place. That's for sure.
You gotta face your fears, man. Kingdom Hearts.
No, absolutely not, dude. All right. So from there, we ventured back downstairs. Maybe we're getting a little long in the tooth with the prologue, but we're back downstairs. Police officer, he got stung by something, right? He's like, I got stung, and or something bit me. I think is his last words before he turns, and he just
Something bit me. It's crazy.
He turns, and then the first encounter with zombies is on, and it's a difficult one. Like I had to get I don't know what was up, but like I had more trouble with this section than I should have, and like he didn't kill me, but like I was just like, all right, you had a gun at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I missed my first 3 shots, like full transparency.
Oh,
like,
dude, I had so many whiffs, especially
like,
with Grace. It was embarrassing.
It was embarrassing for sure.
Because I'm a panicker. Y'all know me. Like, like I can't control myself sometimes when I'm like high stress. Like I panic, I miss the shots, and I'm like yelping and like I'm like, what the fuck, Grace, lock in, and I'm like, I gotta lock in, but I can't. Like it's terrifying. And then you're fucking shooting above us. That's the thing about this game too, is zombies, you got to shoot them in the head, but there's a like smaller surface area you're gonna miss. It's fine. Oh.
So yeah, that chase ensues, and then you give him the slip. You stab him in the eye with something, right? Like some kind of I don't remember what it is, but that's how you get rid of him. You're back up in the room, and then that's when you encounter Gideon for the first time, and he knocks Grace unconscious, chokes her out or something like that, and then proceeds to carry her out. And that's when the game flips to our first section with Leon.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the fucking music in Leon sections?
Oh, it's great.
What is that instrument that does this like wow sounds?
I'm actually not sure. I don't know that the score or anything ever stood out to me. Like
It
I
only
like
stands
the
out
sound
to me
design,
in the
but
Leon sections.
I never really noticed it.
Yeah, like I just noticed like how fucking badass the music was whenever I was playing as Leon.
Yeah.
It's mostly just like to serve I don't think anything from the soundtrack really stands out as like I would go back and listen to this for me, but like it serves
the credits.
Yeah,
end
except
credits.
for the credit song. But it serves the game the way it's supposed to.
It's
And
definitely
that's,
one of
you kinda
those
get what you get with
like perfect
survival horror.
Yeah, perfect like for what it is, but like again, like there's some people that are like obsessed with like the RE2 soundtrack, and I'm like, man, there's just like ambient creepy noise half the time. What are you talking about?
It's what it is.
It's like, I like it too, don't get me wrong, but like it mostly just unsettles me. No thanks.
I mean, with the remakes, I think most people get very sad that they removed a lot of the music from the original.
True. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I don't really mind. Like I kind of prefer the more vibe stuff than having a lot of explicit music.
Yeah. Can we talk about our first introduction to Gideon. Wait, how'd y'all feel about him as just like a villain?
Oh, I love him. He's such a good bad guy. I we're not to him yet, but like I like him so much more than Zeno or Z.
Zeno, yeah.
Yeah. I agree. There's something like unhinged about this guy. Like I don't really. He's very much like the Dark Knight Joker style of villain, where he's just like into the chaotic, fucking. He literally grabs Grace, walks out on the street, and
then
public
start
starts, like popping people. It's just like this guy doesn't give a fuck. Like I respect
He
it.
doesn't give a fuck at all. It's like
who we talk about?
Like Leon is like looking at him, and he's just like.
I was just waiting for him to just flip him off and just walk away. Like, holy shit, this guy's badass.
Can you imagine, like, you look back and you see Leon S. fucking Kennedy, and you just like, bloop, bloop, bloop.
Casual as hell. That I mean, yeah, like shout out to Gideon, man. I think he's really cool. He plays it very chaotic though. Like, this seems like a guy who's barely got a plan.
Was it just me, or when Gideon showed up, did you think he was played by Troy Baker? I was like listening to his voice, and I was like, this sounds like Troy Baker. It's not Troy Baker, but I was like, this sounds like Troy Baker.
Yeah, it never occurred to me, but I like him though. He's cool.
Oh no, he's great. So
cool
we're in.
He's got the cool little goggles and shit.
He's played by someone named Anthony Byrne.
That's a pretty cool name on its own.
It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool name. So we're in the streets of Redwood. We're controlling Leon. He's he's just driven into the city, right? And he's on the phone with
Sherry,
old girl from Sherry from RE2.
Which is awesome. She's still around.
It's really cool. Very cool.
Yeah. We for context, we get confirmation because she's one of the playable characters in 6.
Mm-hmm.
And there we get confirmation that she became an agent. Because,
okay, that's nice.
Because of being inspired by Leon.
And she's basically your Oracle in this game, which is super cool.
Yeah, super cool. Absolutely. So we're in the city. We're on the streets. The people of Redwood see this guy walking out with a girl like strung over his shoulders, just like, all right, whatever, dude. And then he starts popping people, and then they're like, oh my god! Like,
no, I mean the first woman he runs into is like, is she okay? What is going on? And then he's just like, then he just fucking ploops her, you know, like
yeah. And
that's fair. Yeah.
This is
then she goes to like make out with another guy.
Yeah.
And they both become zombies.
Dude, the face, right? That's where like she
rips
the guy's face or something. That shit was brutal.
Like rips his nose off, yeah.
Yeah. Can we talk? Okay. So like I didn't play the original Resident Evil games as a kid, but it was one of those that I watched like religiously all the way through. And then I don't remember if they ever explained this, but like, so he's just popping people and they turn into zombies, right? But like the main characters always get like bit by zombies, like clearly bit, but they don't turn.
As far as I know, I don't think there is any explanation for that.
I'm making sure.
But I actually haven't looked that up either. I think that's just like
yeah, that's what I kind of figured.
Games,
but
bro.
like, there's so much.
That's just plot armor, dude.
Yeah,
like there's so much emphasis on them biting, because like every time one gets you from behind, they're just like right on your shoulder and like, oh no, I'm a zombie now. And it's like, no, fucking flip him over, stomp his face in, and just it's like, all right, bet.
Diego, if you're still in chat, could you look that up? If there's like a canonical answer for why the main characters are able to survive biting.
Yeah, it's just like that's the one thing you can't have in a zombie. You can't let them bite you, but they always bite you.
Yeah, I assumed that what he's shooting people with is some kind of like genetically or some like reverse or engineered version of the serum that like turns people. I thought the zombie bites didn't turn people in this universe.
No, they do. we do see that. Like, for example, we see that like explicitly in Resident Evil 3 remake, where uh um what's his name? Martin Branagh, the police officer, the police guy. He
See,
gets bit by Brad.
I assumed that he died, like he bled out, and then
So
he
it's like a
turned.
situation of when you
Well, in
die,
3
you
remake,
turn
we
if
see
you're
him
infected.
get bit, and then
Right. He gets bit. I just assumed like he didn't, like the bite was to like a crucial area. Like, I mean, he ripped out like part of the stomach. I just thought he bled out and died, and then he turned after he was dead.
Yeah, maybe that is it, but I don't remember. Or again, it very well could be like yeah, guys, come on, yeah, see,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah, I don't know, but at least in this game, because one of the key plot things that we start to learn throughout the game is that there's something up with the survivors of Raccoon City, and they have something that they call the Raccoon City, or they call it the Raccoon City curse, or no, the umbrella curse, or what was it called again?
I want to say it was like Raccoon City virus curse or something
Umbrella's
like that.
curse is what they call it. And it seems that every survivor of Raccoon City has this, and also what they reveal even later is that the T virus never died. The T virus spread across the globe.
Yeah.
And it's dormant in everyone. And what his little ploop thing is doing is accelerating the T virus.
Okay. So Diego in chat says, according to some guy on Reddit, you can get bitten during gameplay, sure, but canonically, most of the main characters have technically never been bitten, I believe. So basically, Capcom just assumes that we're good at the game.
Exactly.
All right. So from there, we're moving through the streets of Renwood as Leon, and this is where we get our first taste of like Leon combat and our first look at the namesake of the game, the Requiem.
The Requiem.
Can we talk about this gun, y'all? Because you touched on sound design earlier and feel of gunplay. This gun ass, dude.
Yeah,
the way it feels, the way it sounds, it is unreal how good this gun is.
The only thing that I don't like about this gun is how rare the bullets are, because like I always wanted to use it.
I actually,
I was just like,
I wasn't using it excessively, but like I didn't have like when Grace gives the gun back to Leon, I probably had like 9 bullets.
Yeah, I didn't touch it. I'm one of those like I gotta save it. I'm gonna need it for later. And then I never touched it. Like
yeah. I definitely didn't have the ammo for Grace. I definitely had excess with Leon. But Grace is I was blowing through them. But I will say, with the Grace sections, I was very meticulous on exploring, and to your point earlier, Ryan, where it's like, hey, you go back through these sections as Leon. I didn't know that. Going in, so it's just like that. We'll get to it very shortly, but the whole hospital section, everything was taken care of. Leon's playthrough through there was a breeze. Like, I had some blood blisters and stuff, but even as Leon, those aren't a problem. But like,
dude,
as Grace, like she fucks some shit up in there.
Like, I'm gonna touch on it when we get to it, but man, it feels so good. Let's fast forward a little bit. We're back with, like, he goes through the streets. We end. Gideon gets away. He takes Grace to what's it called?
It's called the greatest survival horror section of any video game of all time ever.
It sure is, dude. It's so good. This is where I don't want to critique it, but it's like this is where it starts with like, man, Capcom really loves the number 3. Oh no, I'm sorry, we're not there yet. It's because first Grace wakes up like strapped to like a gurney or like a medical table or whatever, upside down, horrifying, and you break out. And this
can we talk about the fucking hair strand system?
Yeah.
And like how the hair actually
yeah.
behaves properly when she's
Yes.
she's upside down. Fucking awesome.
Which is insanely different from the 7 and 8 games, because I watched some clips on 7 and 8. The hair looks bad in those games.
Yeah, I don't know what Capcom's been doing, man, but they cooked this game,
it's
man. They
wild.
cooked.
So this is where we get introduced to our first like real stealth section with Grace, and this is where the gameplay just takes off, because this section, this bite-sized section with Grace, where you get introduced to the girl, is horrifying. This section's so good. So this isn't the rule of 3. This is, there's 2. So you're making your way through these corridors, and there's 2 fuses that you need to power up the door, the gate at the end of the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're meandering looking for these fuses, the girl comes through this, like she's moving around through the ductwork, and you get through to that first fuse in the room that's like completely pitch black, and she just like busts through at you, right? If I'm remembering that correctly.
Something like that. Yeah. You're basically in the dark, you're wandering around, you get to a point where you need a lighter or whatever, and like she like busts through once you have the lighter, and like, oh my god, then you have to run back and oh god, oh shit, at some point you're doing Resident Evil shit, you get a Cupid key, you go in the Cupid room, and you find this creepy book that is just like a child's book that just describes this horrifying monster, and it's just like, to stay in the light or something, like written.
Don't turn out the lights. Yeah,
it's just like,
I don't think I found. I don't know.
Oh man,
it's like a kid's room. Well, you have to go in that room to get the second fuse.
Well, maybe I just don't remember it.
Maybe you didn't see the book.
Did y'all turn out the light in the main room?
Dude, I never turned off any light if I had the choice. Fuck
that. So you have the option to turn off the light in that main room. If you do, you don't have a safe zone. Like, because that,
what happened to me is that I went back to that room many times, and then the light went out.
Yeah,
that does happen at the end of it.
Yep, but if you have the option, there's a light switch on the wall. You can just turn it off, and if you do that, you have no safe zone for the entire time.
Why would you?
You can't turn it back on again.
Yeah, you can turn it back on.
But you just can't find the light switch.
If you
you're just like, oh, what have I done?
You need that. You need that one zombie to help you find the light switch. But
yeah, the book describes the monster before you encounter her, and then it's like when she comes out and looks you in the eyes, it's this gigantic fucking 8-foot tall, horrifying monster.
Horrifying.
Just awful. And like, you run back and you go to where the safe room is, because there's a fucking typewriter in there. We all know that that's a safe place. She goes in and gets fucking roasted from the light. And that's where you're like, oh, that's what that child's story was about. It's weird that children are reading about this monster. That's weird.
It's perfectly benign. It's fine. This section's intense. It's so short, but it's so good.
No, it's this could have been a standalone game, and I would have enjoyed it.
Yeah,
just this little section here with this girl, the light. Man, there was a handful of times where I couldn't figure out how to juke and get around her, because you gotta like push a cart, and it like shit starts falling off the cart, and like she comes in through the window, through the ceiling. Like, dude, it's fucked up. It's just fucked up. And the lighting in this game is so good, just like with the lighter or with the light that comes on but turns off. Oh my god.
This slice of the game was apparently what was released to like for like early press events, like for people who got to go play the game, like or get hands on with it early.
Oh,
which to me, it's like, why didn't we get this demo?
Yeah,
like,
why didn't we get it? I'm
kind of happy we didn't, because experiencing it for the first time in the game was like incredible.
Maybe that's why. That's probably the right call. We're just like, nah, man, let them find out.
So you get the fuses, you get to the gate, you put the fuses in, and the gate starts rising, and then you're almost out. And then at the last second, she pulls you back in, and it cuts to black, and we are back controlling our everybody's favorite hot boy, Leon Kennedy. And he's been captured at this point, right? He wakes up in the hospital as well.
No, he drives there.
Does he drive there? He gets taken, but okay, never mind. Okay, he gets that. I'm getting ahead of myself. So
Yeah,
he
because
gets to
everything's fine whenever he gets there. It's like an actual just facility.
Yeah, I mean, he
This-
uses his Porsche to drive.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's right.
And they do
That's
not.
right.
They
His
never relent.
$200,000 car.
They never relent on showing every single detail
Yeah.
of this Porsche.
Dude, it's Fast and the Furious. Like, for whatever reason, and it's so cool because like it's so loud, and it's like, yeah, that guy's cool, man. Look at his car.
Somebody, I don't remember who it was, but somebody I think it's IGN price matched Leon's fit with his car. Like, how much would it take for you to look like and be like Leon? It was like $284,000. Like,
Hell yeah. Product placement at its finest,
It's
Diego
crazy.
said. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
it was.
I mean, also remember his Hamilton watch.
yeah.
Why they kept showing it? And
Yeah,
I was just like, that's a fancy watch. And also, I don't know what any of those dials mean if I'm supposed to.
I mean, they had. I mean, in their Resident Evil showcase that they had before launch, they talked about how
Yeah.
they had an official partnership with Hamilton and with Porsche.
Yeah.
It's wild.
God bless them.
This man is dripped out. So
He walks into a zombie apocalypse with with real expensive ass clothing.
this man had to look his best for all these one-liners he's about to drop. Which let's get into it because we get one right off the bat.
Yep.
Can we talk? I'm going to apologize if my future wife is watching this for my language that I'm about to drop. But can we talk about how much of an asshole Leon Kennedy is? Because this man walks into the hospital and this nurse lady comes up to and is like, "Hey, what's up? There's this place isn't safe. And there's something going on with the patients." And this dude comes in with the chainsaw, and Leon just watches as this lady gets absolutely murked, and just so he can deliver the stupid one-liner of "I think I need a second opinion."
It's so
like,
good.
I just lets this lady just die because he has to get this one-liner off. Like, come on, man.
I mean, yo,
Like Diego is saying, he needs to
saving it the whole
fangirls to
time.
fangirl hard.
Yeah. I'm fangirl, man. Yeah. It's me. But no, but also the nurse lady should have seen the guy with the chainsaw.
No, she's staring him down.
Yeah.
And just stands there and just lets it
Yeah, I mean, she's part of the problem there too. Like, I would want a
But,
second opinion after that as well.
So can we talk about this section and how absolutely hilarious it is with the chainsaw guys? And if you like, I mean, my favorite thing,
insane.
my favorite thing is like how you can like shoot them in the leg or something and they trip and then you just like start riding along the ground.
Dude, I swear to God, the chainsaw is the hardest enemy in this game. Just trying to pick it up and it's spinning and cuts you up. And then exactly what you said, the zombies will literally like get dragged on the ground by the chainsaw. It's almost like it tracks you specifically.
I mean,
It's so fucking funny.
there are like a couple of times where they have chainsaws in this game, and each time I just like laughed out loud.
Yeah.
It's like so funny.
Dude, jumping ahead just because we're on the subject. There's a literal like mini boss fighting a guy with a chainsaw like you're fucking blading with chainsaws. It's so stupid, but it's awesome.
Yeah, getting to use the chainsaw is so good in this. This is not a small little section for Leon. It's like confined to like one room, but it feels amazing. The power fantasy with Leon is incredible.
Yeah, and it goes back to what I was saying with the pacing of this game, where it's just like very, very early in the game, it's very Grace heavy, and then the second half is very Leon heavy. I almost was disappointed because I was like, man, I wish the Leon sections were just a little bit longer, and then you get the longest section of the game, and it's all Leon. So it's just like it really it knew exactly how I felt, and I was like, oh, okay, I got you, fam. Don't worry about it.
I think it's interesting, like with the pacing, because I've heard both sides of it, where some people are like, it really just depends on what your preference, who your preference was, Grace or Leon, like how you felt about the pacing. Because I felt the pacing in the front half of this game was perfect, like 10 out of 10 pacing. Like the Leon sections came in just long enough to break up the tension and the stress from the Grace sections, and I loved that balance. And then we got to the back half, and I was like, this is a little too Leon heavy. I wish I had more Grace.
I think if you're someone who got this game to goon for Leon, then you feel that way.
Yeah.
But
sure.
let's talk about the Rhodes Hill section as Grace.
Yep.
And we get introduced to Emily.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
this is the best section of the game, in my opinion. I think it's the best like survival horror chunk that I've ever played. Like I think it's better than RPD. I think it's like
Wow.
so I think it's just amazing. I love that the special sauce of this game is the Gideon side or whatever bullshit that they're doing, where they're experimenting with the blood and mind control, but then they somehow tap into the memories of the infected, and so the entire hospital has these infected that like retain like last memories of who they were. So like you have like the crazy chef that's like fucking chopping up meat, and then he's like, "Oh, your skinny bones are gonna be delicious," and he's chopping at you. It's like I've never encountered a zombie that's like literally like that personal.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
literally like personal threats.
I love the cleaning ladies
Oh, yeah.
that keeps wanting to clean the blood that they are
Yeah.
that they are spreading across the scene. It's like,
It's
oh,
so
dude,
good.
it's so brutal.
The light guy. Like we talked about it a minute ago,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
the guy who wants to keep the lights off. I love it. It's so good.
And it took me a long time, but like I said, I spent the most of my time in this section of the game because like I was just enamored with it. But one special thing that you could do is you can start to manipulate the zombies that way. So like the guy that always goes to the light, you could literally like flick on a light to lure him over there. That way you can get around him. And the same thing with like the blood lady. If you kill a zombie near her, she's going to be like, "Oh, this mess," and shit like that.
Mhm.
So you like the way that you can kind of play and toy around with manipulating them and shit is so cool.
It's
Then
so
there's
awesome.
also that guy who doesn't like loud noises.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And then the singers, which is the worst
Oh
enemy
yeah.
Oh,
in
dude.
this section of the game. They suck.
They're
They-
so cool.
Um,
So cool.
I should do a shameless plug. I'm gonna go get my stuff.
the way they just kind of like get everybody else's attention to. I avoided them. This is why like we'll talk about it in a minute when you come back to this section as Leon. Is the man is it fun?
Did you
so-
guys try to take out the singers as Grace?
Yeah, I killed everybody as Grace. That's
I also
Oh, I
killed
did
like almost everyone as Grace.
I
yeah.
did not.
Dude, the singers, that Requiem, oh my god, there was so much blood. and it's eerily silent afterward because everything is kind of like ambient, and the singing is so eerie. It's very just like woo. But then once they're dead, it's so quiet.
Mm.
And Ryan, I don't know if you've experienced this because I didn't realize it was a thing because I started getting comfortable as Grace in this section. Where I was like, oh man, now that everybody's dead, it's so much easier. But like, if a dead body lingers long enough as Grace, it comes back as like
Comes
a
back.
blood blister. So it's
Yeah.
so like
Blister
in
heads.
turn, I made it so much harder on myself for no reason. Like I didn't need to kill all these zombies; they just came back worse.
Yeah, I barely killed anyone as Grace. Y'all killed the chef and Chunk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't kill Chunk, no.
I didn't know that you could at first until I, in panic, accidentally used one of the purple injector things, and I was like, "Wait, you could use that on him because he didn't die." But then I gave him 2 shots with the Requiem, and then he just started just exploding blood. It was
Oh
so
man,
disgusting.
the way
Oh my
Chunk dies is visceral. It's disgusting. So Curly, you said you like this better than RPD. Do you like the corpses better than the club key or the spade key or whatever the key system that RE2 had?
I mean, it's all the same. I mean, this game's got that too with like the red pendant and then like the sun, the little cubes. What'd you call them? Quartzes?
Yeah, it's the moon quartz, sun quartz, and star quartz.
I thought it was cool just because like in the one dude's office you see pictures of like the solutions and like different things in the background. I thought it was neat. And then like there was always like a hint as to where, oh, the next one must be in this area or this room. And yeah, I think it was better than just some random, oh, this is the heart key, so now I can open up the heart door. Oh, Alex wants to show us art.
if you are
Oh, I wanna see art.
local to our area, I will be vendoring at a Comic-Con / convention type thing where you can buy various prints that I have made of my artwork over the years.
Whoa. Where's
Hell
Donald?
yeah.
And not only that,
He said, "Where's Donald?"
He said, "Where's Donald?" Oh,
Yeah.
he's not done yet, but he's going to be sold.
Yo, he
at
looks
the
amazing.
FanFest
Yeah,
this
that's
year.
That's
And
incredible.
I got stickers. Do you want stickers? Oh my
want
god.
stickers.
You can't see any of these actually.
This episode is brought to you by Alex.
You get a sleeping
That's adorable.
Bulbasaur. You want a Bulbasaur? Like, not the best
I
starter.
do want that
but, you
Bulbasaur.
know, it's a
I
pretty
would-
good starter. You got this.
Oh, these are great.
You got this. Oh shit. Oh, you want it so bad. Ooh, baby.
Yeah.
Just head on down.
Do you have any Resident
Thank you.
Evil
What?
stickers?
You got any Resident Evil ones?
You want them?
Can you make me like a shirtless Leon Kennedy?
Bitch, I'll do that for free.
Thank you.
Clip it. Clip all that.
But yeah,
How,
the fact that sorry, go ahead.
how did you just like give like create children that are just exact replicas of you? How did you do that? Like, who
Um,
did you?
It's just in the genes, bro. I don't know what else to say. It's in the
Okay.
cum.
I regret asking you. Okay.
Oh my god. Well, we at least know what short to make.
Yeah.
Oh no, this yeah, I like this better than RPD in my opinion. I think it's just so well designed, and again, like the way it does the backtracking is so clever, and the way the blood blisters makes that so much worse. I love the weird fucking organ bag thing that you have to like. This is just peak
Oh,
Resident
yeah.
Evil isms, like with the items inspection. It's
Mm.
got the cool parlor room where you have the upgrades, which I love the antique coin upgrades. I thought that was super cool and,
Yeah.
and just like kind of goofy at the same time. It's just like, just break the glass or something at some point. Like grab
Yeah.
that shit. Like I don't know,
Did-
but at the same time, it is very like gamey and like very Resident Evil esque. It reminds me of like the lockers that you unlock
Yeah.
in RPD and stuff.
Although the lockers make sense, whereas this one doesn't really fit into the. Like, why is there a parlor room?
Bro, there's
in
a roulette
hospital?
table for no reason.
Why?
Did you ever figure out if the roulette table does anything? I tried, but I couldn't
I
figure
tried it a
out.
few times, but the chef was in that area and he kept making my life miserable.
I don't remember what it is, but if you I wrote it down, but there's like a reoccurring code. It's like 15, 14. I don't remember what it is, but like the same three numbers repeat, and I thought it would have been a safe code, but
4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42, or whatever it is. I'm lost.
oh Jesus, the fucking
I thought-
I mean the Dharma
thought this man
Initiative
had
and
safe
Umbrella are
codes.
basically
Yeah.
one and the same.
But well, so did you guys kill the chef?
Yeah.
I killed him as Leon.
Because like when I saw, because there's a door in the
Mhm.
kitchen that
Just
is
it's like a
locked and
cooler.
it needs a key, and I was like, I bet you I get this key if I kill the chef.
Yeah, that bitch got that key.
And I killed the chef and I got the key, and I was like, hell yes.
This is one of those prime examples of I was whiffing, and Alex watched literally this part where I was trying to kill the chef and literally just wasting ammo because I'm just panicking because he keeps just like he's so fast and like I'm shooting around him, I'm running out of bullets, and then I get the Requiem and I missed 2 shots with the Requiem, which is impossible. The spread
It's
is so
incredibly
ridiculous.
cringe.
It was so bad.
I
But
just
yeah, I
like,
got
So
him.
good.
I
Dude,
just
there's
like,
a charm in there. It's
I just
so
like
helpful.
waited for him to get there, and I was like, it just
Yeah.
fucking got him.
Nope, I panicked the whole time. There's a charm in there that makes your knives way more effective.
Interesting.
Or no,
Okay.
I think actually I sneaked up behind him and used the injector thing.
Okay. Yeah, I never
So-
used the injector on any of the big guys.
I have like 6 of those just sitting in my inventory. I was like, I'm gonna save them.
Really? Okay, I
Yeah.
didn't waste. I used those any chance I got.
Oh, dude, I
Yeah,
was
same.
crafting like a motherfucker. Like, I always stayed full on blood. Which, by the way, I mentioned it earlier about like the parlor and stuff. I love Grace's like crafting system too, with
Yeah.
the infected blood mixed with like scrap and stuff you find. I thought it was
Yeah.
awesome. It was
Doesn't
like
make a lick of sense, but I love it.
none.
You can
It's
make
like, I'm gonna make
bullets.
a
You
handgun
can
ammo.
make. You can make. Don't you make? Don't you also like use infected blood to make like healing injectors?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know
What is
why
that?
you feel it's safe to use that, but okay.
Dude, I don't know if you guys encountered this, but like the first time you meet the chef, there's that bucket of blood,
Mhm.
and like Grace interacts with it where it's like, that's a lot of blood. But every time I would go by, I'd think it was an object. And I would be like, what is that? And then I'd read and I'm like, that's a lot of blood. I'm like, who gives a shit? Try to fucking get past this guy. And that was before you had the upgrade to know that you can collect the blood.
Okay. So you're going through this area as Grace. What were
Talk
there
about
like
Emily.
any? Yes. Okay. Well, we can talk.
Yeah.
We can talk about Emily a little bit. What you can't get to her until you get the third level bracelet, right?
Yeah, but you
And-
talked to her ahead of time.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I mean, there's not much dialogue. I don't even know if I remember what is said. Like she just kind of like she doesn't really interact with you too much. She doesn't know
Well,
who's there.
There's a couple of different cutscenes and it might be optional, but like if you keep checking in on her,
Yeah.
different stuff happens.
I know I at least saw one of those.
Oh, I don't think I checked in on her too much after because I knew what bracelet I needed to get through the
Yeah.
door.
I would like go back whenever I went to the save room.
I was immediately enamored with her. I was like, I would protect you with my life. Little adorable blind child who's like it's super mysterious even still. Like it kind of alludes like, oh yeah, my friend Mary or whatever, she was over there and she's gone. Whoa!
Hey,
Whoa!
welcome.
What's up,
Hey, hey.
Enrico?
How are you doing, guys?
Fantastic. How are you?
Doing great.
Tired as hell, but everybody's tired, so it's okay. I guess.
Same.
So that
So for anyone who is watching, this is Enrico, and him and I are gonna start a PlayStation podcast.
AKA the newest member of the fam.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Welcome.
Pleasure to be here, guys.
And
We've,
he is a game designer like me, but he's also a professional game reviewer.
Oh, okay. All
And
right.
So I got
you
two
had-
bad things, not just one.
You had early access to this game, right?
Yeah, 3 days early.
That's pretty sick.
That's awesome.
That
And I
means you
took
would
my
have
sweet
beaten the
time with
game
it,
if you were Dennis
so,
before it
yeah.
even came out.
Wait, so how long did it take you to beat it?
16 hours.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
You might
Yeah,
actually
I
have
was
the
I
most
was
time.
very slow, but I wanted to enjoy a lot of it. So it's
Dude, that game clock is so wrong.
the game clock is very wrong. Yeah.
I don't understand what it's counting because
I
like,
think I
dude,
had like 12 hours or something, 11, like that.
mine said
Counting
like
the
11, but I was
friendships
like,
you made along the way.
I put like 6 hours in it the last day I played it. Like, what are you talking about?
So give us your basic review, and then we'll continue where we were.
Mine, Dennis?
Yes.
Let's just say that I think I enjoyed it more as soon as the credits rolled, but the more I'm thinking of it, the more issues I'm finding with it in a way.
Okay.
But it's still a really enjoyable experience, and probably not the best horror I played recently, because that's Chronos, but it's the second best horror experience I played recently.
What's
So, yeah.
your review score?
I think it was a 9 as soon as the credits rolled. Right now, it's more like an 8.5.
Okay, because I'm on a 10 out of 10. Curly's on 10 out of 10. Ryan, you were at 9.5 out of 10.
9.5,
Yeah.
yeah.
Makes you want to play
Okay.
Chronos because this is my favorite probably survival horror game I've ever played. Probably.
No, it's very legit. Like
Mhm.
again, the issues I see are only if I think back on it and maybe see some gameplay of it by some other, players or reviewer or whatever. But I mean, again, as soon as the credits rolled, I had fun with it. So if that's my judgment, it's a 9. But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we're at Rhodes Hill right now as Grace. What's your thoughts on this section?
There's an editorial that I'm preparing that's called something like if Grace is trauma, Leon is therapy. So it's probably my favorite section. Even though I was shitting my pants, basically.
Yeah, it is the same for me. It was the worst experience. I hated it, but it was my favorite part. And I loved it so much.
Yeah. And its only downfall, I would say, is it's setting a tone that is not really there for the rest of the game. It's like most of the budget went there, and the more I went on with it, not with Road Hill, but with the next sections, I saw like the money going down in a way, like like you're rushing to the end more or less. But it was a great section. You probably already said it. I mean, everybody was. I think me and Dennis were crazy about The Last of Us Part 2, right? Where you shoot someone and someone else is calling its name, his, her name. And now basically every zombie has a personality. Every zombie has sort of a story.
Yeah.
You can almost, it's like environmental storytelling, but not in the environment. It's like passive character storytelling. So that's great. The zone itself is amazing. The visual quality the engine achieves is awesome. And the pacing was really, really, really good. And every single, jump scare or surprise was perfectly toned, and it had a perfect rhythm. So great section, absolutely.
How did you guys feel when you get up to, is it the second or third floor, and you walk into that room where there's like a guy laying there, and then Chug shows up?
Dude, it scared
That's where you get the level 1 bracelet, right?
Oh yeah, that's where the bracelet is. Yeah.
The
worst part is, sorry, go ahead.
That's the worst jump scare in the game, I think, for sure.
Dude, the worst part is my inventory is maxed out right there, so I wasn't even thinking or paying attention. I was just like, oh shit, what can I do to get rid of this? Oh, I'll just go save and go to that little chest and come back. And then as soon as I exit the menu, fucking Chungus comes out of nowhere. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And I have to leave the bracelet. I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I panicked. And I went into the fucking safe room. And I'm like, okay, I got away from him, no biggie. I'll just go back out there. I'm sure he's gone. And of course he fucking was gone until he showed up from the other fucking side. And then you'll learn that this motherfucker's following you around. And this motherfucker, this place is already so hard to navigate. And now you have this asshole to worry about. It's so unnerving and terrifying, and he's disgusting.
But it's also the perfect balance that I think Resident Evil is able to achieve, which is it's a jump scare. You're scared, but then at least for me, it took 2 seconds for me to laugh because it was vulgar as fuck. Like it just started saying, "What the fuck?" So it's like a big scary guy, but it's also your uncle when it's drunk. So it's kind of I know that guy more or less. So it's again a zombie with a personality, and he works. And I think he works better than Grace in terms of giving him a personality. I mean, not Grace. Sorry, the child. I think it's called.
No, the girl.
Yeah, the girl. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. And this is where like you get that bracelet. I've seen people who like are speedrunning this game. You can actually like grab that bracelet at a side angle and like squeeze right past Chunk, and then you don't even have to worry about like circling around the area or whatever. But that was my like I had reached like not a flow state, but like a zone at that point where like as soon as I grabbed that bracelet, he popped out, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna he's gonna be slow. I'm gonna circle around. It scared the crap out of me, of course, but like and then you go out into what I think is the second worst jump scare of the game is when you're in the parking lot,
the garage,
the garage, yeah, and the the guy starts driving at you. After you grab what are you grabbing there? Is it
The
the
heart,
organ
heart,
bag,
I
right?
think, or the
right?
It's that,
the
yeah, it's
heart.
that box.
it's the lungs in the box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right.
Did you guys die on that? Because I first did not realize
Nope.
what I was
No.
supposed to do.
No, I that one didn't scare me so much. It's like, oh, what the fuck? That guy can drive, and I just started shooting him through the window.
Yeah, I didn't realize what I was supposed to do, so until
Did
it was
you just,
way
sit
too
there,
late.
Like, no, the whole time.
But again, in there, like jump scare, and then he says something funny. Do you remember what he says?
No.
I don't.
remember.
He says like, "Always wear a helmet" or something like that. So it's I don't know. Those two things were just top tier.
I think what I, in my mind, when I saw that like big truck, I was like, there's no way. There's nothing I could do against this. So I was like, this is some kind of scripted thing. So I just didn't really do anything. And then like after I died, it was like, I think it was like a tip on like the load screen, which was like, try shooting him. Or something like that. I was like, oh.
Because you die like split in half if you don't shoot him, right?
Yeah.
Atreus from Ragnarok just pops. Was like, hey, maybe you should try shooting him through the window.
How about shooting like passive aggressive loading screens?
Yeah.
How about shooting the fucker?
Xbox Copilot shows up and gives you a paragraph.
The PlayStation podcast, AI podcast comes up and Kratos says, boy.
So did any of y'all question why we needed to bring this zombie on the table back to life with a heart and the lungs? Just
That's
to take
Resident
a
Evil
bracelet off of his
4,
wrist?
yeah. I think it's Resident Evil logic, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, why can't we just
dumbest
take
thing-
off the bracelet?
It's like you can look at it, and Grace like has a little line that says like, "Oh, something's on his hand." And I'm like, "You have access to his hand. Chop the shit off or something." Like, what are
Let's
you
go.
doing?
Like,
You're gonna give him an artificial
like-
heart and lung?
we kind of talked about our different play styles here, but like the fact that not only do you have to put this heart and lungs back in his body, but he has to wake up and then you have to kill him. It's like I have killed nothing as Grace at this point. I am shooting in the leg and I am beelining it. And there are zombies everywhere. Chunk is lurking around here somewhere. And I'm just like, please, just take the bracelet. Like, I gotta go. Like,
that was a horrible instance for me because the other zombie that's in like the other side turned into a blood blister for me. So I'm fighting this fucker, and that guy comes running in like a little asshole.
I think
It
one
was
of
a-
those
it was a
three is
bad time.
scripted to become a blister head in some way.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to
You
say
get-
about this section?
you get real quick. I want to talk about you get the second quartz after you pour the corrosive on the lock, and
Mhm.
that's where you meet Gideon again. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
just want to talk about the hilarity that ensues after this scene where Grace runs down the hall and picks the worst hiding spot on the planet to hide from Gideon, and he's just like, I can't find her. Guess
Well, I mean-
I'm gonna go this way. Like,
I mean, she throws something into the hallway to indicate
she?
that she ran that way.
Yes,
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
does.
okay. All right. I thought I didn't see
She-
it, but
she,
all
like,
I saw was her
run-
just tucked behind a wall, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, who are you hiding from?
She runs out, she grabs one of the chairs and throws them in that direction to indicate she ran that way, and then she sneaks over behind.
Okay. I must have missed that. I just
Yeah.
thought it was the worst game of hide and seek I'd ever seen in my life.
And then
Um,
we didn't really talk much about Emily, but I was immediately just enamored with the character. I thought she was awesome. The idea that there's now a blind girl that you have to take care of is awful. Just like horrifying.
When did you start to realize that she was connected to the girl?
Immediately.
Oh, right away.
Oh,
yeah.
immediately.
When she mentioned like her friend in the other cell and you see the hole, I'm like, oh, that hole looks awfully familiar.
Yeah, I remember this.
I
remember
And
the
then
trouble.
the gown too that she wears.
Yeah, I don't think it was until the second time I went there. And then I looked up and you see one of the same holes that the girl walks in and out of. And that's just like, oh my God, she's been here to look at her friend. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is so sad.
Yeah, it's very sad. It's
Yeah.
weird because I'm still a little bit unclear, like even after the fact of like what exactly were they doing with these kids. They were trying to like, this is maybe getting ahead of ourselves, but like trying to save Elpis or whatever. But like, what
Yeah,
was
it
the
got
end goal here?
yeah,
What?
it-
They were
it's
trying to
weird.
reproduce,
yeah, they were
Grace
trying to
basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But like, they don't really do anything with Grace other than hey, enter the password.
Well,
But like, there's nothing
we'll
you
get
can.
there. We'll get there once we
Well,
Yeah.
I
get
guess
there
yeah, they
because
thought that she was special, but she wasn't.
Yeah.
It's this weird plan. Just
It's
very
a
weird.
weird plan.
yeah, but
This
I
is where
love
the wonderful nonsense of the
Yeah.
game
well,
story is kind of like,
that's
all right.
that's much of what I like, and we'll get if we get there. But I like how the villains think it is this like whole thing because everything in Resident Evil is this whole
Yeah,
thing,
that's-
and there's nothing at
amazing.
all.
So meta, by the way, like that
Yeah.
thing is very meta. Yeah.
Okay, but let's should we move on
Oh,
to
last comment on the section, because you were talking about, there's a body with a bracelet on it, and we need to revive the body to get the bracelet. But at the end of that section, I think there's a even more Resident Evil like reasoning, which is there are four buttons in front of me. I know, like,
Oh yeah.
there's a limited amount of combinations that I
Yeah.
could try, but let's get the blind girl in.
Let's get the blind girl. Let's,
in a
let's
room
endanger
full of
this
zombies.
blind
Real.
child.
Yeah.
This child is perfectly safe in a locked door behind a glass wall. Let's
Let's
endanger
put
their
her in
lives so they can
danger.
lead some-
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Dude,
What I
fear
love-
of
what I-
stealthing through that section, carrying her was just awful.
Oh, it's great.
What I love
Yeah.
with interactions between Grace and Emily is that Grace is so much more scared than Emily.
Bro, I mean, if you can't see what's going on, who gives a fuck? you know?
Yeah.
But we're probably gonna get back to it. I know a lot of commentary online is
Oh no, he died. Did I die?
as a comment.
Oh.
So I appreciate it that Grace is so scared all the time in a way.
Yeah.
Because I really don't like protagonists in survival horrors that are like brave all the time. They kind of break the tension a little bit, and she
Yeah.
comments a lot on what is happening. I mean, she comments in a way that I would comment if I was in that thing.
Yeah.
I would say what the fuck constantly in a Resident Evil like scenario. So yeah, but again, we're
Wouldn't
probably
you
gonna
say-
get back to.
Wouldn't you if theoretically if theoretically you were talking to a nurse and a guy with a chainsaw shows up
I
and
want a
kills
second
him,
opinion.
Yeah, wouldn't you realistically say I want a second opinion?
Yeah.
But I'm not as cool as Leon, so
That's it. So
And
Moving forward, let-
also again, theoretically, what if you were in nondescript Spain and a bunch of guys who are recently attacking you in a village starts walking towards the cathedral? Wouldn't you theoretically say, "Where's everyone going?" Bingo.
bingo. Yeah.
yeah. We look a future Famiriety show idea. We need to tier list all of Leon Kennedy's one-liners.
Yeah.
I'm not on the menu, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Speaking of which, jumping into the
Chilled
next section,
sandwich.
y'all. So Enrico, I'm curious to hear if you got this one because y'all killed the chef before. So I didn't kill it like barely anything. So you jump back into this section with Leon. You go through the chunk boss fight, which one of the better boss fights in the game. Probably again, my biggest critique of the game was I didn't love the boss fights except for a couple. One amazing standout, and then this one is really cool because it's very scripted. But you get through. How did y'all touch on this real quick? Because like, how did y'all enjoy the attic boss fight with Chunk?
This is also, by the way, Chunk's brother.
Is okay.
There
So
are
I didn't
actually
kill
two
Chunk. So I thought
Chunks.
this was Chunk.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
actually two Chunks because
Yeah,
you can theoretically kill Chunk.
Yeah, I killed
Ask
Chunk
Grace.
as Grace. And you get a little skull charm. It's really cute.
It's really cute.
I like this fight. I did die once during this fight.
I
yeah.
died several times just because like it kept saying like in the loading screen, it's like, hey, why don't you get on top or get high ground? And I didn't ever find the ladder till I like got shat on like 5 times, and I was like, oh, there it is. But
I think
I was
this-
just running in circles the whole time.
I think the scripted formula of this boss fight is what I want more from this series, because the way the arena just opens up as the boss fight progresses was really cool, and it kept me engaged the whole time. Whereas where some of the later boss fights just feel like if I just spam shots from my shotgun, I'm eventually going to wear it down, and the fight's going to be over. And I'll talk more on that when we get to it. But I absolutely love this boss fight. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I liked how claustrophobic it was, even as Leon,
yeah.
who's like a powerhouse.
Mm.
It was still like a little bit unnerving. Until I finally found the ladder, then I'm like, I can just like get on top here and just fucking waste this guy away. But no, I enjoyed it for sure.
It's also very strange design-wise as an approach, I would say, because it's the only enemy that does not attack you immediately if you don't attack him first. Because you can get very close and it doesn't do anything. You have to shoot him to interact, which I guess it's press E for interact for Leon is shooting. But it's the way it was scripted, it was nice. I didn't die personally, but I had some difficulties in understanding how to get up. So there was maybe a couple of missteps there, but nice boss fight, absolutely.
Enrico, could you maybe try to lower the volume on your headphones? Because I think there's a little bit of echo showing up through your mic.
Dennis, did you want to touch on the boss fight, or?
Yeah, no, I don't really have that much to say. More than it was enjoyable.
Okay.
It was good.
So we open back up into the section.
I don't remember anything Leon said, but I know he definitely called him fat at one point.
So we open back up into the hospital, and this is where the game like just absolutely sings for me, because I didn't kill anything as Grace, and I've been tormented this entire time, and the hospital opens up and I'm in control, and I'm like, I'm about to wreck everything in this hospital. And I went around to the singers, I found Chunk, and the last thing I was like, that chef made my life hell. I cannot wait. I found that dude. And Leon delivers the line of like, what's that knife for? Chopping elephants. And I was like, I didn't get that. I am going to ruin this dude. And then he cleaved me in half, and I was just salty.
I just imagine Ryan, you're like when in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, when Rocket gets the gun and he's like, oh yeah. You're just like going in fucking murdering everyone.
I am so ready. There was so much ammo everywhere, dude. It was amazing.
Yeah, I had the exact opposite experience where it's like, well, not the exact opposite, but like once you're Leon, you're going through the same parts. I kind of expected it to be more like the original like Resident Evils, where it's like, oh, you got the 2 character playthroughs, but they don't really match up. But whenever I saw like, oh, the zombies that I killed as Grace are now blister heads or whatever, or just dead and gone, I was like, that's super cool. Like, I love how that like it literally like remembered everything that I did as Grace. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's impressive too. But then it kind of made the section a little boring because I spent so much time in there as Grace and killed everything. So it felt a little like, damn, I wish I would have known that I was going to be able to do that. Because like, I definitely wouldn't have wasted so much ammo as Grace.
Yeah, but, I think I also wouldn't have spent as much time killing the enemies if I knew that I wouldn't be here again.
Yeah. I'm interested to know if the same thing happened for y'all when y'all got to the lab section later. And you just real quick, like, because I had the exact same experience again when you're doing the laboratory section with Grace, and then you come back with Leon, because again, didn't kill anything as Grace. Just try to get through it as quickly as possible.
I was mostly stretched to like, I really want to beat this game tonight, so I didn't really spend nearly as much time in the lab section. I still like did wander around and explore and open up a couple of like the saves and things like that, but I was definitely more like, okay, I got to beat this game tonight. It's got to happen. So didn't spend as much time in that area as I probably would have if I just played organically.
So how do we feel about the sniper section?
Oh,
loved it.
Wait,
dope.
We we're skipping past a.
Did I skip
massive chunk.
something? Wait,
The
what? did I
The
skip?
Yeah.
basement.
With the best section of the game.
Oh yeah, right. That's later. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So this is the like jumping into it. This is the best section of the game from the start of the basement through the boss fight with the girl is my absolute favorite part of this game. And I think let's just go through the basement first because this is a game where I'm like, Capcom really loves the number 3. Like they iterate on it a little bit with like you got to use multiple at once to get through different sections. But I love how terrifying this section is.
Yeah.
It's perfect for being a minimalist and not shooting everything because there's not as many enemies and it doesn't really do much for you when you're targeting the girl. But Curly, what did you think?
No, I agree. Like I kind of liked how this was different than the main hospital where there were a lot less enemies, but like upped on the fear factor of like adding the girl in there. And again, the atmosphere of this area is terrifying. You're literally dredging through like lines of bodies being just strung across. You got this pool of blood you got to deal with, and like that conveyor belt going through you, just like freaking out. Like the whole section, like dude, I loved every Grace section. I would still put the upstairs part as my favorite, but this, honestly, I still like was like heavily invested in this Grace section.
Yeah,
Dennis,
I really like this section too, as much as you can like scary ass sections with Stalker class enemy.
Yeah.
When she popped back in, I was like, I don't know how to deal with this. It was just like and the game just gives you enough to make it through where it's like, well, I've got a couple Requiem shots as like major emergency backups, but then the levels designed to where you can kind of loop around no matter where you are. But you have to play it very smart. Like you can't just go in running like she's gonna grab you. That's something that I appreciated about the slow movement in the game, where is like it raised the tension so high because you can only move so fast away from her, and like I just loved it.
By the way, Enrico, did you play? What perspectives did you use?
First person for Grace and third for Leo.
So I'm the only one who did third person only.
I did third person for a little bit of Redwood Hotel, and then I was like, this doesn't feel right. There's something. I think this is why I struggled with the police officer right off the bat because there's something that just didn't feel good about controlling her in third person. So I swapped back pretty quickly.
Yeah, I wanted to just up the horror factor, which like I think the first person mode definitely lends to that. So it definitely made it harder to get through, like, because like, man, that's one of the reasons why it took me so long to beat this game. Is like I couldn't play it in long sessions without just being like super stressed out.
Yeah.
And like anytime I wasn't playing, I'm like, man, I just want to get back in there and do it. But then as soon as I was, I'm like, oh, I want out. I don't want to do this anymore.
So Enrico, did you want to touch on the basement section?
I probably didn't like it as much as Road Hill itself, but it was nice. Again, we were talking about Resident Evil logic, and you're in a care center, and the basement as a conveyor belt for cadavers, and a massive like grinder as well. I think they were making prestige coffee in there probably. But the section itself it's good. For me, it felt, I would say, not anticlimactic, but almost like it felt from going from a big space to a smaller space and then to an even smaller space in the next section, which felt a little bit strange. Because I kind of feel like the sections with Grace again are meant to kind of keep you constantly on edge, and then you get some freedom with Leon, and after the Chunk, I mean not Chunk, I don't remember if it has a name, the Chunk's brother, but I like that section. I felt you went a little bit too long. That's my main comment on it.
I loved the chase or the run back to the elevator after you flip on the lights and you got to get Emily away from growth. That section felt amazing. Did anybody die trying to get back up to the elevator?
Nope.
No.
I don't think so. I definitely died a couple times in this overall section.
I actually
just
don't
with
think I died at all in
navigating.
this section.
Okay.
I died a couple times just navigating away from the girl and stuff, and then again early on I was trying to explore and find every little bit and get every little piece. So like I was playing pretty dangerously as Grace there. That this section is really cool, just backtracking wise, and I kind of like the smallness of it, the confined space, because
Yeah.
it definitely like, especially with the way that I just like the way that each time you go through the section, even though you're backtracking, it's a little bit different because it's like, well, now I need to move this battery piece to this one, so the light's gonna be off here, and you gotta kind of navigate it differently each time. I thought that was pretty cool.
I can't speak to it because I haven't played all of 7, but is this more akin to like the Baker House? Like this? No.
I would say no.
No. I think the Baker state is like different from like basic everything in this game. I mean, it's more like Rhodes Hill, but like way smaller.
Okay. All right.
More
In like
linear.
a scary way.
But you have the stalker enemy at the Baker House,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Jack Baker.
So you get up the elevator, you get out of the hospital.
Oh wait, one last comment. Sorry about this section. Dennis might know that, but I'm very interested in the way you can approach narrative without cutscenes, and the fact that you can draw a sort of comparison, like a hero versus villain kind of thing, between you that took, like you took Emily out of the cell, putting her in danger to find the last piece, but then the girl, when she gets Emily back, she puts it in a cell again to protect her in a way.
Oh
So-
wow!
Yeah.
It's
That
kind of
was awesome.
it's kind of a strange thing that you're
Yeah.
emotionally you're the villain for Emily way more than the girl is, even
Yeah.
though
Very true.
I mean she's scary as fuck. But yeah, sorry, just wanted to add one last comment to it because it made me think for a second, like I'm
Yeah.
putting that girl constantly in danger, and the girl I'm trying to run away from keeps on protecting her.
Yeah, it was
so,
cool
That's a
because
great
like
point.
there's other stuff too you see in there. I think like dolls, like you
Yep.
see on the surveillance camera. It's like, oh, that was another point of lending to like, oh, that was that girl, and also she's like a weird collector. Like she's just like going in and hoarding shit like a fucking little kid. It's cool.
So we jump into the helicopter scene. We got to go into like the side office area or the administrative building.
Well, first let's talk
one-
about
one thing.
Harry.
One thing with when I think it's here where the foot gets chopped off, right? At
no, the
elevator?
hand, and she says, "Let's play" or something. Yeah.
What did you guys ever find a purpose for that?
So
you can
in
collect
there
with
They
is
it.
then, yeah.
there's a puzzle. It's called the final puzzle. I haven't done it, but I've looked at a walkthrough of how to do it, and you have to use that hand.
To analyze it
I-
in the lab.
I looked everywhere I could for a use for it, but I couldn't find it. I don't know. What
I didn't
it's
even know
for.
you could pick it up or that I had it. To be honest with you,
You have to pick it up, and
Do you
it,
have to-
it
okay.
takes an inventory space too.
You don't have
maybe
to
I
pick it up.
boxed it and then completely forgot about it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
you don't
think
have to, but if you want to
yeah.
solve the puzzle, you have to, and you see, because I guess that's the Resident Evil way. Once you're done with the section, the items you're not going to use anymore, I have a check mark. So they noticed that once you go out of the road hill thingy, the hand has a check mark on it. So
Yeah.
they understood, yeah, we need to use it somewhere in Road Hill, and it was the lab. You need to analyze it on the blood
Okay.
analyzer stuff.
Damn. I
So
kinda wanna go back and
how do
that.
we feel about? So we're going out to the helicopter now.
Yep.
Mhm.
How do we feel about Harry?
Is he the
You got
guy,
done
the
dirty.
helicopter pilot?
Yeah,
I didn't trust that motherfucker for a second.
yeah. I
Dude.
was the same, but at the same time, I was like, you don't like. I didn't trust him, but at the same time, I was like, you don't introduce a new main character this late in the
Yeah,
game. Like, I was
Yeah.
like
not
pretty
long
sure
into this
that
game.
this guy was probably gonna be a good guy and he was gonna die.
There was something, and this is like no knock against the actor, but there was something about the performance that felt very disingenuous, where he's just like, "Oh,
Yeah.
my leg's busted. I'll watch the girl. Why don't you go in and get this?" I'm like,
I think this is
No.
entirely this scene is entirely supposed to freak you out from the perspective of you are a woman and you have a little girl and a strange man just showed up.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's exactly the scenario, but it's just like
Why is he
I-
here? Is
he was there
is that
for
explained?
his boss, but is his boss Leon? Like, is he there to scoop?
No, I
Leon
think one
up,
of the
or-
scientists, probably Gideon or something like that, because he says
Okay.
the boss took my keys, so I guess it's one of the
Oh
three
yeah, the
scientists.
keys are in
Yeah.
that place there.
Okay.
So yeah, and Gideon is there. So yeah, it's probably Gideon's pilot.
Okay, fair enough. So you go into this administrative building or where the boss is or whatever, and what's the significant? I'm sure there's significance in Resident Evil lore, but the wine bottle that you unscrew and it makes the DNA ribbon or whatever. What's the reference there, the relevance there? What?
Oh, I thought it was just puzzling.
Oh, it
Wait,
was just
Ryan, are you
puzzle.
saying that you don't lock your room by hiding the key in a wine bottle that you have to unlock with a password that you get from the kitchen
I haven't.
by unlocking the fridge?
Did you guys flip the hourglass over as well?
That hourglass is also for the puzzle thing, same as the
Oh,
hand.
Okay.
Because
Interesting. No.
that's another thing I wrote down. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do with this, but all right.
Yeah.
So going forward, how did y'all feel about the this section of the game with the mass outbreak in the stairwells of pouring blood?
I
It's
was
a
like,
great
this some Resident Evil shit right here.
Yeah.
I mean, the moment like I went into that little house and I was like, this is a conspicuously small
Yeah.
house for a Resident Evil game. And then the floor gives out. And you start
Yep.
going down. It's like, yep, this is some Resident Evil ass shit.
We're back.
We're so back. So you get out of the house, you get in the helicopter, you take off. The zombies are all over the place, and Grace is.
Oh wait,
panicking
Ryan,
and-
I keep interrupting you, but I'm
Oh, no, you're
forgetting.
good.
I'm the lab section is probably the best cutscene of the whole game, which is when Gideon, probably my favorite character in this, just laughs out loud for 2.5 seconds, then locks in and goes out of the room.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
in that moment, I knew, yeah, he has autism. Like it's, I love him for that, because it's like my two wolves. We have two wolves inside of us: Gideon laughing and Gideon locking in,
Yeah.
and that's 100% the best cutscene of the whole game. Sorry,
No, that's fair.
helicopter.
No, I appreciate. I missed that. So Grace absolutely does this guy dirty. Harry's got this, right? He's flying. He's getting us out of here. And then Grace is panicking, is stressing out, and then the helicopter crashes, and that our time with Harry is short lived as he is impaled by a tree branch.
I mean, inadequate pilot, not on Grace.
Very bad
He had
pilot, yeah.
this.
Yeah, he had this, but we brought a bunch of zombies on him. So.
Yeah.
I mean, to be real for a second, you're in a world in which viral outbreaks are a thing. You're a pilot and you're not trained to handle. Zombies may be hanging on to your
You're
fucking
also
helicopter.
pilot or the guy making these things.
Yeah, but he probably
True.
That's
doesn't
true.
know, right?
That's a really good.
Yeah.
Well,
But I feel it does make sense that he would be trained for this.
did the game explain where did Gideon go? So this helicopter guy, he's here for Gideon. Gideon leaves the office. Where does he go? He's like, I don't need that helicopter.
Well, after this, we we have the thing we start with Leon, but Grace gets captured by Gideon and Sino, and then they go to Raccoon City.
Mhm.
That's right. Okay.
He
okay.
leaves with Xeno.
Right. So let's fast track it just a little bit. We get to, again, favorite section of the game here. This is the best boss fight in the game, in my opinion. I don't know how do y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel about the boss fight with the girl?
The girl one?
Yeah,
But
I mean,
that's
yeah, I
after
would.
the sniper section, right?
that is after the
Yeah.
the sniper section. Yes. Okay. Sniper section. Dennis, you asked about this earlier. Had elaborate. Tell us about the sniper section.
I mean, I thought it was. I mean, I love anything a game does where you play with perspectives and like
Mhm.
here again, you're like playing as one character, looking at yourself, protecting yourself from
Yeah.
Yeah.
from danger,
No, I
and
love
it's
that.
just like, and especially I think because of how Grace is such a new character, I think Grace, and I could see, I could tell, I can see how this maybe is even more enhanced by the first person perspective. Grace feels like you.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
Leon, and when you're playing as Leon, you're playing as Leon.
Yeah.
Totally.
So like when you're looking through the scope, you are looking at yourself. And you
Yeah.
are like fucking panicking trying to get into that cathedral.
And there's like there's a part of me that too is
Church.
like whenever Grace is like, you know, at literally carrying a child and helpless, and then you know gunshots start to save you. It's just like there's this like really cool relationship kind of building in the background between Grace and Leon, where it's just like, because by the end of the game, spoilers on the spoiler cast, like she's literally like panicking about Leon's health, and like she's super worried. And it's like these characters haven't really spent that much time together, but they are definitely like trauma bonded.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
like I love this section as like another, like, because like the first time she meets him, she's just like, who's this fucking amazing looking man? And he gives her the fucking arm cannon, the greatest weapon of all time. And it's just like nice. And then the next
When
time
you
she
when you
encounters
shoot
him,
it the first time as Grace, she's like, "Ow!"
he's like, what the fuck? Ow. And then yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was really cool, perspective wise. And then also like, damn, Leon's really looking out for this girl. I like it. Leon is such a like
Unlike the
wholesome
nurse.
badass.
Yeah, except for that one nurse. He didn't give a he
Yeah,
didn't care about her at all.
like let's be real though. Like Leon kind of knew this place was shoddy. Like he probably thought the nurse lady was in on it. You know?
Okay.
I mean, the nurse lady has been working for someone that's like 2 meters, like 2 meters 15 centimeters tall for like years, and he basically
And
looks like a
looks
zombie.
blue.
I would,
Yeah.
I mean, I would ask myself a couple of questions
That's
Mm.
fair.
in the long run, probably. But
That's fair.
you, Curly, you got to a nice thing that I was thinking as well, which is every writer that can call himself or herself one knows that every scene has to either introduce a character to you or change the way you look at a character in a way. And as you said, they didn't, at the end of the game, they haven't spent a lot of time together, but through action and through your action, they're kind of having a dialogue in a way. And that sniper section is a way of telling you, yeah, Leon got this and Leon got Grace. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
your
you
back,
in a
dog.
way.
Yeah.
And it felt great. Like the next section, I felt slightly more empowered by that relation in a relationship in a way. So that spoke greatly to their rapport in a way.
Yeah. Plus,
Indeed.
I love the break in pacing here too, because like I love the pacing in this game. I feel like I was never bored doing what I was doing, and this was just another different kind of gameplay that fits in the world, that fits with the weapon. It's not like your typical like old school game where it's just like, hey, this boss fight's going to introduce a completely new mechanic that's unlike anything you've done. It's like, well, no, it's just a sniper rifle, which you then get to keep as a like a weapon against like future characters and zombies too. It's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so sniper section, and then we have like another mini, like sort of similar to Leon's first section, where it's like a gauntlet of enemies, and there's a boss type enemy. This was cool. I felt like this was like a rehash of in the church. Yeah.
Yeah.
A bloater by any other name, I call that section. But...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this goes back to I was concerned because I was spending so much more time with Grace. I was like, I kind of wish that we could get a little more Leon. And then this section was just like the others. It was just like a little bite-sized section before like the whole Leon flip.
Yeah. So that church section buys us enough time to set up another solo Grace section. She's carrying Emily down into like a factory, like assembly line type area, right? If I remember correctly.
A water treatment facility.
Water treatment facility. That's it. And Emily is mortally wounded, right, at this point, or at least to Grace's knowledge. And
she leaves her in this area, closes the door.
Yeah.
And then attempts to like open up the roof to shine light upon the girl.
Yeah.
Just an absolute killer section. I love this boss fight.
Yeah.
I want more of this. I was hoping we were getting more of this. They never got back to this for the rest of the game. And it's my biggest critique of the game is I love this so much, and then the rest of the boss fights are just completely underwhelming for me. How do y'all feel?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree, but mostly because the rest of the game is primarily played as Leon. And I kind of am sided with you where I do prefer the Grace sections of this game just because Leon is more of like a been there, done that, whereas Grace feels a little more fresh and a little new. And quite frankly, I'm like just more into just like the vulnerable, scary stuff. And granted, I think the Leon sections are fun, but the boss fights for him are a little silly. Like, just like call it what it is. They're a little silly. But no, I mean, this is also just more of the same, though. It's just a little more expanded on because, like, we are now, like you said, encountering the girl for the third time this one, and it's just getting a little more like the stakes are raising and stuff. And yeah,
it's another return of the number 3 as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, like,
but
when she first says like, "Oh, I need to get the 3 things or whatever," I was like, "Oh, are we gonna be running around in another big ass section to get 3 things?" It's like, oh no, it's just like a little area, so it's kind of a good change of pace. I would have been a little bit like, oh, another area, but it probably would have been a good area anyway. But
yeah, I like that this was strictly like this is just a zone. Yeah, you're collecting stuff, but it's for a boss fight. And man, that again, the girl as a character and as like a stalker character, I think I haven't played Resident Evil 7 to completion, but she's my favorite like stalker character in the Resident Evil series now. Like,
same.
I like her more than Mr. X or Nemesis or whoever's, and just think the light mechanic is way scarier. Because like just moving around in the dark is already terrifying enough, and now you're telling me that that's the weak spot. It's like fuck. It's awful.
Yeah, it's great. And then like the lamps scattered throughout the area, the strategy behind like figuring out how to do this, what section to go to, how to evade her. I loved this. I love like having to think on my feet and the stress of the situation. Enrico, Dennis.
Yeah. I don't have that much to say about it. It was good. It's good.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, the only comment would be that the game here achieves a tonal shift that it does elegantly, which is I kind of stopped feeling like the hunted and I started feeling like the hunter a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't feel as scared. It felt like I was laying a trap down for the girl to fall in, and it was less, trying to avoid her in a way. It probably felt it would have probably felt a little bit too samey if it was bigger, because it was very basement like in gameplay wise, let's say. But yeah, it was quick and a nice way to wrap up, I guess, the Grace storyline, at least for this act.
Yeah,
it hadn't really occurred to me now till you said it about like being the hunter, but like it is also juxtaposed to her now being the protector of Emily. The similar to Leon being the protector of Grace, there is that dynamic there where it's less like feared for my own life and more feared for the girl at that point. So it is just like, well, I've got to do this. I got to protect this little child.
I got you there. Like I could only imagine. Of course, we're talking about a game, right? And the Resident Evil game. But I can only imagine how scared Emily is. Like, you're blind. You've been thrown out of whatever room you were in. You heard a bunch of sounds that you don't recognize. Then you're in a helicopter. You crash. You're hurt. It almost makes you feel more vulnerable to think about how Emily is feeling in a way,
right?
And it gives a lot more weight to how Grace behaves at the end with the cutscene, like, you know, like dropping the Requiem on the floor and saying to Leon, like, I'm done with this. That would have been a great wrap up by itself in a way for Grace. So great job there, especially narratively.
It was interesting for me that this, like, after this section, she gives the Requiem back, because this is the section of the game where I finally like let loose with the Requiem and actually used it for once. Because like, the entire game, I'm gonna conserve this ammo, and then I got to this boss, I was like, time to let it go. I don't know what else I'm gonna use it for, and it's like, I don't want this, even though it saved my ass the whole boss fight.
It is like funnily helpful in a way, because like you shoot the girl with the Requiem, and like it doesn't just stun her, but she'll just like stop for a minute and be like, oh, well, I got to recollect myself. And it just gives you plenty of time to like get away. I did think it was a little goofy, but like at the same time, like I was fucking happy to take that goof.
Oh yeah, I'll take it.
I'll take it, man.
So I was a little bit distracted by the raiders that showed up, but how do we feel about the mutated Emily?
Oh, dude. I don't know why I didn't see it coming, because obviously the girl character and what she turned into, it's just I wasn't emotionally prepared for it. It really, like, it kind of gutted me for a little bit. Like, I was legitimately like attached to this character from the get, and I really thought we're gonna see it through with her till the end, and then this happens, and then what happens later, you know, I almost have like a problem with, but we're not gonna.
We can touch on it now, because it's, look, this is stupid to me. Like although I will say I saw a review of this game that was talking about this section where you get to the end of the game and basically we're led to believe that Emily dies, right? And you get to the end of the game and Grace is like, I just wish we could have saved Emily, and Leon's like, we could have. I didn't shoot any of her vital organs.
I didn't shoot any of her vital. Like the entire scene, he's like blowing her up, and Grace is freaking out. Like,
but
hold on, yeah.
Are you gonna say that? Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
Go ahead, Enrico, because this is what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
Yeah, they checked, like, you can't actually shoot her in the vital places. If you aim at that at the heart, for example, the Leon aims away from it. So there was some purpose, let's say, in him saying, cool.
It is really cool. That being
said,
stupid. It's still stupid. It's really stupid.
Because like
he was still mortally wounded by a helicopter crash.
Well, I mean, I actually, you can use the Requiem to shoot the girl in the face repeatedly, and she doesn't die.
Regenerates, yeah.
So I actually don't think it's that stupid.
It just like we
see Leon literally shoot the girl's head open, and then she comes back. So like,
No,
I actually
okay.
don't think it's weird that Emily regenerated herself.
To me, I wish that it had been more like we would have seen her get away or something like that, where it's like later on, whenever we find out we have a cure, it's like, oh shit, we can do this. But like the fact that they left it as a gut punch of like, oh god, we had to kill her, like that hurt. And then you circumvent that later, it's almost like, well, that was kind of cheap now. It's like, I don't know, it just feels weird that we landed it that way where it's like, well, now she's dead, instead of like, well, now she's a monster and escaped, and that sucks still. Like that still would have been emotionally impactful. Like,
Yeah, I see where I thought this game was going to go, because you get to a little later in the game and they show you that at RPD they show you the videotape of the other little girl and you play through that section. I thought like I thought that was live footage and that she was going to come into play and that she would be like Grace's chance at redemption. I failed Emily, but I'm going to save Chloe, I believe is her name. And I thought that was where they were going to, and then we never saw her again. And then fast forward and Emily's just fine. I thought it was a little ham-fisted.
We're gonna need to get back to this section where we get to the end, because there's one comment I want to make, but I'm gonna do it later about this whole thing about how Emily. Yeah, I'm gonna get back to it later.
Let's move on to, well, so after Leon kills Emily, she gets very sad and gives up basically.
Yep.
I do, before we jump into this, I do want to acknowledge the raiders again. Appreciate the raid. Servio said he just pulled off his first speed run tonight with 55 minutes to spare. Does that mean you beat the game in 55 minutes or?
Probably.
No, I think he got
S
to
rank.
3 hours.
Oh, that's incredible.
3 hours and 5 minutes. I guess.
That's awesome. Just want to
Nice
touch
work.
on.
I haven't
Carly, you
tried
remember
speedrunning this
Servio,
yet. What's the S rank on like standard for this game?
I don't think you get. Do you get ranks?
I mean, I'm assuming that he says it's 55 minutes to spare, so I'm assuming that's for S rank.
Because it's there's an inside challenge, which is also a trophy, which is beat it in under 4 hours. I guess that's the only thing he's referring to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
I get that Grace like gives up, but also leaving with Spencer giving up is a completely different thing. It's just
Leaving
like,
with
well, I guess I'll
Gideon
just
and
where's
sorry.
Zeno?
No, she just lives with the
Zeno, not Spencer.
Yeah,
Zeno.
Zeno. Yeah.
God, there's so many characters.
So
but yeah,
basically Wesker, but we have Wesker at home.
right.
That's
like,
the thing.
They
like,
explain, is this like a Wesker clone? What's going on there?
so like, there's nothing. I looked at like the Resident Evil wiki at like Zeno, and there is like, we don't know who he is. It just says like he is part of the connections. He directly funded Victor Gideon's research on unlocking Elpis. And it's just, there's like a section here called like further notes, where they basically note that he's just bears a striking resemblance to Albert Wesker, and that there is a line from Gideon where he says, "You're nothing but an imitation."
Yeah.
Indicating
it's
that
implied
he is,
that he's a clone. Yeah.
He's and considering he has the exact same abilities as Wesker from Resident Evil 5, it strongly indicates that he's a Wesker clone. I would imagine that this is going to be explored in the story DLC that they have confirmed.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird that nobody addressed it? Like, hey, that's Wesker, but it's not. Like, nobody said anything about it.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, that's Zeno, and we're just going along with it. It's like, huh?
my theory is that the story DLC is going to be Ada. And Ada is going to focus
that would
on
be
Zeno.
awesome.
Be cool. His
because
his
this would
introduction
be
is
this would be the first game where Leon is a playable character where Ada is not in it. So I think Ada is going to be in the story DLC. And I also think, by the way, like my little text says on the screen, It's obviously Ada, you tourists. That is who he's married to.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Isn't it Sherry? Because in Japanese they call each other the way a spouse and
There's a
spouses call each
weird
other.
age gap there.
It would
that's
be
very
whack
problematic.
as hell if he's married to Sherry.
Ooh, I don't
Because-
like
Japan though.
Yeah, it is
Japan is
Japan,
weird.
but oh yeah, no, that would be like the speculation with who he's married to is Claire, Ada, and
Mr.
Hunnigan.
X.
Yeah, sure, Beast.
Fine, yeah.
Basically, the three candidates are Claire, Ada, and Hunnigan.
Bro, we all know Leon's married to who all we want to be married to, and that's Leon Kennedy himself. He's
This-
married to the oath.
This
He's
is
married
my
to the Porsche.
this is
actually.
my theory. My theory is that they are planning to change the ending of Resident Evil 6.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Because
cha-
in the
forget it
in
ever
the
existed.
ending, let's just
Fuck.
talk, in the ending of Resident Evil 6, it is heavily put down that both Leon and Ada love each other. And then they just don't do anything with it. And I
Yeah.
think they regret that choice, and I think they're actually gonna end the remake of Resident Evil 6 with them getting married.
I would like that.
I'm here for that. It's fun.
Give them some rest, you know.
And
like as
I-
much
I
as
would
like
see-
playing as Leon,
some
that
rest.
dude needs to retire. Like,
Again, I also think the only other, I think Claire is only an option you would think about if you have like looked at the cover of Resident Evil 2.
yeah,
And that's your entire exploration of Resident Evil. Like
their
Oh, yeah, that
relationship
makes
never
sense.
felt that way.
they were both in that game, but like
Well, it's similar to the Grace Leon thing here. It's like I would never imagine them in a romantic relationship, but I imagine their relationship would continue here,
Mm.
like after this game.
so I think the only other viable option than Ada is Hunnigan. Because Hunnigan is a fucking ride or die. Like, she's there for him. I mean, we've only seen her in Resident Evil 4, I think, but I mean, it's implied that they've been working together a long time. And it's also implied that the only reason unless they are married, the reason why she's not working with him in Requiem is because him and the Sherry as Raccoon City survivors are going rogue to solve this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But yeah, back to the Grace giving up thing. It's like I get that, but like leaving Wazino felt because he's like, or just couldn't fulfill your purpose, and it's just like, bro, I'm gonna go home. I went out to my job. Like
Well,
people are
okay.
probably worried
But
about
she
me.
wants
How
answers,
would
right?
she
I mean,
would she go home?
I don't know.
To
Like,
her-
Leon, can we
To
go
her,
Uber?
I
I
think.
don't know.
Well, first of all, she doesn't like Leon in this moment. Leon just killed her girl.
Does she like this guy? She doesn't even know this guy.
Yeah, I think she just. I mean, the thing is, like, I think she just gives up. And to her, it's like, this guy,
Yeah,
whatever.
But like
Yeah,
giving up,
let's
and
go.
he's like, fulfill your purpose, release the Elpis. I'd be like, fuck, what are you talking? No, I'm done. Like I give up. I'm not going with you.
But
I-
that
I-
shows you how much she wants answers, right?
I guess so. I don't
Yeah.
know. It seems weird that you just like, all right, I'll go with you. Very odd.
So from there we're going to Raccoon City, right?
Yeah,
Big
and
open world
dude-
section.
outskirts.
Let's talk about the introduction of Raccoon City. Oh my god! First of all, when you're there with Grace and Leon, and the fucking you go up a platform, right, and then you just revealed Raccoon City. It's like, oh, can you imagine if they didn't reveal this in the trailers?
I wish they did.
I would
Oh man.
lose my mind. But even then, even though I knew what was that we were going there, I was losing my mind. And then you know, there's like this long cutscene where he starts like following her. Leon starts following her, driving to Raccoon City, and then there's the shot of him like driving along the road. The camera pans up and looks at the crater that is Raccoon City, and it's just like Leon Raccoon City. It's like, oh my god, dude. Can you imagine that moment if they didn't show it in the trailer? If they didn't spoil this in the trailers, I would have died, dude.
Dude, I
And
had
that
that
also
same
makes it
exact
absolutely
experience.
obvious that they played Alan Wake 2, by the way, with the
The
titles.
fonts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing. It was like, oh, that's very like Control and Alan Wake-esque. And dude, I had the same exact thought whenever I was like, man, I wish I hadn't known. Like,
Mhm.
because like this is so hype. But like, I think it's super smart that they did this. Like,
Yeah.
bringing Leon back is already like a sweet. That's awesome, cool. Bringing him back to Raccoon City, bringing him back to RDP was just delightful. But like,
Mhm.
just to fast track this whole thing, this whole section, I actually really loved, and honestly, I would love if like they experimented more with like the open zone stuff for Resident Evil. It's definitely a different vibe than like the solo gray stuff, but like one of the coolest things here is like they make it very clear, like, oh, this is like your Leon now. Grace is gonna take a back seat, and they give you the little bracelet, and it makes no sense, just like the crafting
Makes
and
no
shit.
sense.
But like
Here's
they
an arcade ass point system.
but like the fact that like
Start killing
Leon's
things.
gameplay is all based on more action and stuff, and now you're literally incentivized to kill and destroy everything that you can and be a badass, and you get stronger because of it, and you get to kill more. Like I fucking loved the loop here. I loved that it was like, hey, Capcom, 3 things. You got to go do these things, but you can do them in the order now. And also, like,
Capcom 3.
yeah, but also like
Yeah.
this is almost like just a little taste of like this is what an open world Resident Evil game could look like. And like I
Oh, yeah.
typically would say like I don't want that, but like after playing this, I'm like,
I'd take
I
it.
kind of fuck with that, man. I really enjoyed this whole section. Fuck the spider part. I hated those little fucking spiders. I hated the
Mhm.
big spider.
I
I hated it.
So
It's too short.
interestingly enough, as someone who does suffer from arachnophobia, where I can see
Mm.
like a little spider up in the corner or whatever on my room, and I'm like, I can't focus on literally anything else.
Ah,
I wasn't that triggered by this spider actually, which is
it was
weird
the little ones
because
for me.
I
Those little guys.
I just watched like we just watched through like The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, and there's one scene in, I think it's the second Hobbit, with a bunch of large ass spiders, and then there's a large ass spider in the third Lord of the Rings movie, and those get me, especially the ones in The Hobbit. Like I could not like I had to kind of
Yeah.
like squint through my fingers to like even watch what was going on. Like, but this one in Requiem like didn't really get me. So I think
It kinda got me.
they definitely studied what triggers arachnophobia and tried
Mm.
to do something about it. I think.
I think one thing that definitely helps with this whole section is that it's daytime, like a dusk setting. So like
Yeah.
it's never like Bloodborne, for example, the giant spiders there, it's pitch black and they fucking come out of the ceiling and fucking freak you out. Like you can at least see what's going on at all times here and stuff. I think that led to a lot of like uh levity.
Yeah, I think I would have appreciated maybe some kind of like day night cycle in this. Not a full day night cycle, but
I
at
don't
some
need
kind
nighttime.
of shift
No.
at some point. I think I would have, and Curly, you're probably gonna hate me for this, but I would have appreciated if the spider had been more of a stalker type enemy. That I felt like
I'm out.
introducing the spider at the beginning and ending it so quickly, I felt like it was rushed. I didn't love the fight
Dude,
itself. And I just wanted more of it.
I mean, considering my reaction, you are right. But I don't want that.
Yeah. Dude, it was mostly the little spiders that freaked me out because they're not little, but in comparison, they're like
They're little
probably up to
muffins,
Leon's
man. You
chins.
just pop them
Yeah,
real quick
fuck
and they're
that.
gone. Like,
No,
you-
I don't
this-
like it.
this is something-
They go in swarms.
This is something I think about a lot with like large insects or whatever things in games. Can you imagine if you actually saw something that big in real life?
oh man,
Like, even just imagine looking down like the hall of your house and you see a bee drill.
yeah.
I would have so many questions.
Like,
we live in Mississippi. We got those.
like that would be actually fucking horrifying.
Yeah. No, definitely, definitely.
But yeah,
Uh,
no, I love this section. Um, I would like more
I think
games like this in the Resident Evil. I would take it.
the set pieces are great. The glass floor,
Oh, dude, I
with
love
the
the
windows.
skyscraper part.
That
So
felt
The
so
cool.
Uncharted to me. Like it felt like just like a big grand set piece, super interactable environment. Loved it.
I just it's one of the things that it's such a simple thing, but it made me feel so smart. Just popping the floor and making them fall. Like obviously, it's
I
not a smart
loved
thing, but
it.
it just feels great. Like the gas station like blow up like the set pieces in this are great. The open world exploration is great. The gamification of the bracelet makes no sense, but it's fun to just let turn your
Mhm.
brain off and be like, yeah, this is great. Um, I love the underground sections. Again, I didn't love the spider. I thought the boss fight was weak, but that's probably my only complaint about this section. Oh, and the
This is
mortar fire. The mortar fire sucked. I hated that. I hated the mortar fire on top of the roof.
yeah. This is a section I was speaking about at the beginning, like when I dropped in the call, and was speaking about the quality shift that I noticed. Gameplay wise, I really like that this section. Visual wise, it felt like I was playing a Resident Evil knockoff, more or less. Like I understand that like it's a destroyed city and whatever, and okay, zombies are coming out of the ground, I guess. Uh, Whatevs, but it felt like very cheap, uh, asset wise, excluding of course some set pieces and whatever. Like
Yeah,
I don't know. I felt cheapened by this section visual wise. Like you get from Rodale, which is nice, the basement, which is nice, water treatment, still nice. And then you get to whatever this is. Like it felt like it wasn't finished in a way, visual quality wise. But gameplay was great. Um, I want to get back to a game that I haven't played that I know dabbled with open world horror, which was Evil Within 2.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I
but
have both
yeah,
Evil Within's installed on my PC, and I wanted to play them. Just haven't
I
gotten
know
around
there's a
to it.
big section of 2, which is you're
Mhm.
in a basically small town and you can approach it any way you want with a stalker type enemy as well, I think. Um,
Did-
with a hairy lady. But again, great gameplay wise, great rhythm wise. It didn't feel too long. Like it stopped precisely when I wanted it to stop. But I felt very personally attacked by the visual quality of it all.
It's
Yeah.
worth noting that this section is way more demanding than any other part of the game, and at launch, at least the PS5 Pro version is the only console version that has ray tracing. At launch, their denoiser was not good enough to be able to like parse the like lower resolution that they had to run at to run this area. So they have recently patched the game to just straight up yank out the ray tracing in this section of the game. So if you're
okay.
playing it now and you feel like, oh, the lighting suddenly looks weird as hell, it's like, yeah, that's because they just removed the ray tracing in this part. Um, but on all the other consoles, it's ray tracing is nowhere in the game. Um, I don't think. Yeah, I think yeah, that's
Did,
true.
did y'all
I
draw
played it on PC, so
correlations? Did y'all draw correlations for this section at all with the day one Seattle section uh, of Last of Us Two? Because
Just
uh,
in the
that was my
garage.
big.
now when I
Yeah,
now when you're saying it, it's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, but I didn't at the time. No.
Yeah, I
I
didn't even
think
think about it.
obviously I feel like Last of Us executed better on it, um, like moment to moment. But that's the entire time I was playing through. I was just like, this feels like they played Last of Us Two. I was like, well, we could do that in Raccoon City. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't even know, like, because the Last of Us 2 section did the same thing that this did. I think that's probably why it feels similar, because that was like the similar thing of like, this is what a Last of Us open world game would be like,
yeah,
and this is what a Resident Evil game would be like if it was open world. So I guess I could see why those things are aligned. As far as like, I do feel like it's more contained than The Last of Us 2 is. Like it even though it's like open zone, open world, there is still like only a pretty small area that Leon can actually go through and go do. It's not like he can do a bunch of side quests and things like that.
Yeah. What was I thinking about?
Be great if we had Leon grab an acoustic guitar though and do an Aha song.
I would love that. That would be great.
Dude, can you imagine the thirst trap he would become if he had like this sultry song?
Oh yeah, I think this open world, or like this open section of the game, I think comes from the fact that the original version of Resident Evil 9 was an online co-op multiplayer open world game.
I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yep.
Yeah, same.
Because apparently, I watched a video of like the development of Requiem, and initially 7 didn't sell very well. It's since become one of the best-selling games in the series, but like initially it didn't sell well. So when they first greenlit what would become because they had initially already greenlit 8, which would be a sequel to 7, but then they were also like trying to figure out what the next Resident Evil is, and they were initially not very excited about the fact that 7 didn't sell well, so they were like, okay, we gotta pivot, and they were gonna have a game starring Jill Valentine and Leon Kennedy where you play co-op in an open world.
I'd still be down for it, but I'm glad what we got.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like just that pitch there sounds like an iteration of like Resident Evil 5. Co-op Resident Evil is fun. It definitely is. It's just it's not what I want out of a mainline title personally.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, then basically 7 started selling like hotcakes, and
Yeah.
because and they basically attributed it entirely to word of mouth, because initially people didn't believe that Resident Evil finally got good again. And
yeah,
then
it's like
everyone
6
was
really
like, "Oh,
did
this
burn
is
that
awesome."
bridge.
Yeah.
6 was like and then they decided to do first person, and it was just like a wait and see kind of deal. So it turned out to be pretty good, and here we are now. Damn.
So, cut from that to we have our bike, and
Dude.
man, okay. So just
This
correlations about it.
sequence.
Maybe this is just me being dumb, but like open world Seattle section comparison here. Cut to Cloud on a bike in FF7 remake. Correlations here. I love this section so much,
dude.
Yeah.
When he drives up the like that turnover skyscraper, just jumps. It's like, oh my god, this is
Man,
that's my only like gripe with this sequence is that there's not more player control. And I think that like for example, like what keeps this from being an Uncharted level like set piece is the lack of control. Because like if Naughty Dog made this, you would have had way more control over the bike.
Yeah.
Like that Uncharted 4 section, the downhill. Oh man.
Dude, one of the you brought up him going up the building or down it, I don't remember.
Up.
But yeah, there's 2 sections where like before the bike section where you're like on a weird level of the building, and it's like that shit I love. It's so like unique. I think that was before maybe the glass ceiling part.
Yeah.
But then doing that on the bike, I'm like, dude, this is so fucking badass. And like I did kind of feel the same way where I'm like, oh, you can kind of turn left and right, but you're mostly just shooting. But like it didn't matter because it was such a dope moment. Like again, Leon is like on paper, Leon should not be as cool as he is. He should come off as like try hard, hokey, cheesy, dumbass. But like for whatever reason, it just fucking works. Like
there's a clip out. There's a clip out of that section of him driving up the building, and it's like this man's supposed to be 50 years old. What the fuck?
That sets a goalpost for all of us, I guess.
And also heavily infected.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it
I
also makes
love
me want to
Leon.
see Leon and Kazuma Kiryu in the same game for a second. Like I want to see Leon in Yakuza.
Hell yeah. And
I thought
another
you were.
point,
I thought you were gonna see. Makes me also want to see Leon and Ada making out.
yeah.
I mean, that's always a nice
Yeah.
sight. But the other thing I wanted to say is that the oh, I forgot about it. Go ahead. It slipped my mind.
Sorry.
I love the fact that Gideon is also really cool in this moment. Like,
Yeah.
Oh
did not
yeah,
expect him being a badass here.
yeah. The mods. Have you seen the clip in which they're both on bicycles? Because that looks awesome in this section. They're it's
Like
just the
pedaling
best.
bicycles.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel it could have been a cutscene, and I think they I would see design wise, maybe a smaller design team coming up with, oh, we have this really nice dog enemy, but we have no place to use it.
Mhm.
So let's do a
Okay, yeah.
chase because they're very fast,
Mm.
and Resident Evil really doesn't do fast, more or less.
yeah. I mean, I should know, like, my criticism against the sequence, like, that there's not more control. I mean, the sequence is very efficiently made.
Yeah.
Like, something that Capcom is very good at is keeping budgets in check. This is the most expensive Resident Evil game, but I do not think it's even close to as expensive as Sony's games. Like, I
Wow.
would be surprised if this is more than, I would say
50,
100.
60?
I'd say $150 million at max.
That's crazy.
Well, like, The Last of Us Part 2 was like $250 million. Spider-Man 3 is rumored to be
It's like
$300
$350,
million.
right?
Yeah. So yeah. Also, as a quick note, Alan Wake 2 was $50 to $75 million.
Crazy.
Great game. We don't need to be more expensive than that.
Dude, that I
Granted, the
mentioned
game's
it
13 hours
earlier, but like that we need to do a whole podcast about what Capcom is doing. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
it's crazy.
We'll call it the Capcom Glazing Hour.
Yeah.
So from there, we're on to the return to RPD.
hmm
How do we feel about the return?
Underwhelming.
Underwhelming?
I feel you. I feel it. It's
Dude.
underwhelming.
No,
Dude, like,
I loved it.
when I was like walking in there, it's like, hold on a second. This is the road to RPD, the one that you run down at the beginning of Resident Evil 2 Remake, and you go down the same alleyway, and then you come out and look at the RPD. The same, like, they literally took the map and
As a
just
set
made
piece.
it older. Like, I love that. Like, and that's
Yeah.
also just efficiency deluxe,
As a
right
But
set
there.
piece,
nostalgia
it's
has to
great.
be a stepping stone to something else, and this is
Yeah,
just nostalgia for nostalgia's sake.
there's nothing of substance.
I think
here.
not really. Like, I do think
mean,
it is, of course, very fueled by nostalgia, but I do think this is an important part of Leon's character development.
Exactly. Like, at
Like,
the moment where he's approaching it.
this all leads up to the moment where he remembers Kendo and his daughter.
What does that change about Leon's character going forward, though? I mean, it's still the same guy afterwards. He doesn't change at all.
Good
Like,
point,
it's not, he
Frank.
didn't need a change. There's no character development here. It's a cool moment for his story, but it's mostly fan service.
I mean, the whole game is Requiem. Like, this is part of that. Like, this is Leon going back to the start and reckoning with everything he's been through. Like,
That's
Yeah,
the
like-
issue I have with it, though. How is the game doing that? Because I don't feel like it's doing that. You're just going back to the places you knew, and and you're what? Like, in what way are you different from the Leon that opened those doors way back into? Like, you're stronger, okay? You're cooler, you're sexier, but
yeah, that's it.
fuck yeah, that's it.
I think it does depend a little bit on how if they ever decide to make a game that takes place after this that stars Leon. But I think that especially through the remakes, they have added, because I've looked at like some videos about this, and like when they did the remake for Resident Evil 2 and 4, like it's very famous that like the original versions of Leon in 2 and 4 feel like completely different characters. And when they went back and did the remakes, they basically sat down and tried to figure out what would make a man change this much. And of course, they did adjust his character to be more consistent as well. But the solution that they came up with was survivor's guilt. And basically, what they have figured out, and what I think this game pays off, is the idea that Leon is a man who has never forgotten about Raccoon City. And there's also in 6, he does mention that he never stops thinking about Raccoon City. And I think this going back here is what he needs to move on.
They don't ever play him as a man torn apart by guilt, though. Like that's never something that like they show. Like you can say that they're telling us that, but like,
well,
you gotta show it.
Yeah, they show the effects of guilt without actually making you feel.
I think they are just being a more subtle showing.
Yeah.
They're
Also,
showing. They show it through
guilt.
how they show it. They show it through how like it is like through his one-liners and through his like kind of very just murderous intent. Like he's closed off.
And like part of his arc in this game is like he brings up a point of like, man, I just wanted to make a difference. And like it seems like every single time that he's been through this, he ends up failing with all like intents and purposes. Like him going back to the start here. And like there's also like I think partial reasonings of like there's a little bit of conspiracy happening here with like so much of Raccoon City was like nuked, but like there's still this underground facility with Elpis or whatever. It's like, was it really nuked to be destroyed? So I think there's something worth exploring here still, just on the lore aspect as well. Like where it's like so many of the zombies infected are still alive out here. So much of it is still standing. Including this orphanage underground facility that we didn't even know about. Like,
I think the narratively, I mean, this is a major set piece for finding out what happened to Raccoon City, like the reason behind it. Gameplay wise, I just feel like this section is very underwhelming. Outside of like this setting being a rehash of 2, it's really cool to see the ruined building and like get the little flashbacks and stuff like that. But like, there's not really anything of substance gameplay wise here. We're about to get into it, but this is I got a lot of criticisms about the upcoming fight here.
Let's see. There were one more thing that I wanted to. Oh yeah, something that they did with Leon's character over 2 and 4 is that he never saves anyone in 2. He never manages to save anyone in 2. And like when he like in 4, he manages to actually save Ashley, and that is like a very big point for him. But regardless, he is unable to move on, and I think that's what Requiem is.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got out of it too. Like, I don't know, it is a bit subtle, but like, I mean,
he didn't. Claire saved Sherry.
Yeah,
and I think that hurts even
together.
more. No, they weren't together. They were separate.
Well, then they worked together at the end when they had to fight Birkin. Like, he gets to take credit for that.
They were separated until they jumped on the train, and I think that's something they haven't really explicitly said this, but I don't think you can just kind of read the subtext. I do think that he feels like. By the way, I can get echo from you again, Enrico.
Now still.
Yeah. But do you have any form of like adaptive volume thing on maybe?
I don't think, but let me mute myself and check.
But yeah, I do think that fuck, what was I talking about?
Is guilt, survivor's guilt,
Yeah,
not being able to
I
save
do
people?
think the fact that Claire managed to save someone and he didn't is part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, go back to his whole thing with Grace. Like literally, whenever he's phasing almost out of life, like his main point is like, I just want to make a fucking difference, and it seems like I never can. And it's just like, I don't know. I really thought that was touching for a character that's like one-liner cheesy bullshit.
Yeah, and doesn't he say? I think he says something in the destruction ending. I do think he says something like, "At least I was able to save you."
Right? Yeah, that was his last words. Was
Yeah,
at least I got to save you this
Yeah,
time.
I just don't think that's set up well enough in the game going forward. Like, it's not an arc. It's just like a, hey, I'm admitting now that I have guilt, and then they kind of pay it off at the end. Regardless, the story, like I said, the story stuff here is great, but like, it's also cut off in the middle by what I think is a pretty bad orphanage section.
I love the orphanage section.
I liked it, but as I played it, I was like, this is gonna be a paid and replace. But
First,
I loved it as a first playthrough thing. I actually like
Yeah.
it more even than the Sherry sequence.
welcome back to terrible voice acting, part 9 of the Resident Evil series. The little girl is the worst voice actor, maybe next to Zeno.
I don't
in
think
this
it's
game.
necessarily a bad voice actor. I think it's a situation where you should have hired a child. A child actor,
Yeah, no,
instead of
exactly.
a grown woman making a child voice.
Man,
It's bad.
I'd never noticed that. That's
It's real bad.
That's funny. Yeah, it didn't bother me, but I mean, it felt very like Resident Evil.
What's the purpose of the? I still didn't really understand the point of that being a gameplay section. Like,
well,
creepy,
it was meant to show. I mean, so let's just get into the whole retconning of everything. Like, and this whole narrative, whole narrative beat. Basically, in like the last thing that Spencer made was Elpist, and this was basically an antiviral agent. Like, it kills any viral agent. But he stops working on it. He isn't this is because of the Umbrella trials, and Umbrella gets shut down, and the connections acquire Umbrella's assets. And in the last moments, in the last years of Spencer's life, he wants to change. He regrets his actions, and he decides to just take care of one of the childs that he was experimenting on, which was Grace.
right.
And then he gives her to Alyssa. And this is like the twist of the game that I really love this twist, which is that Grace actually has nothing to do with anything at all.
Yeah.
And it's just the whole fucking disaster of a whole situation that is the Resident Evil series that makes Gideon and Zeno believe that Grace is some kind of magical key that has like a genetic password that she knows.
Yeah.
And they go through this whole
It's
fucking
such a bad
deal of
plan.
cloning her for years to try to get this genetic password. It's like so much complete Resident Evil bullshit just to get to the point of she had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And I love that so much.
I guess I get that. But like, why aren't they just like, why are they going through all the trouble of like creating a new one instead of be like, hey, why don't we just kidnap this lady and just?
Well, I think
first of all,
it is written somewhere, I believe, that Alyssa and Grace has been on the run basically their whole lives.
Yeah, like they would
from
move
the connections
around a lot.
And then once Alyssa died, there is an 8-year span there where they could have taken her. I don't really know what the reason is why they don't take her. I think it's just like the Connections is a shadowy organization, and they just kind of try to plan on how to take her in like a way that where they won't be noticed.
It's like a lot of trouble to just clone somebody and experiment on them, and like what were these experiments supposed to be doing exactly? Like,
So I do believe, I think, well, you know, Spencer is he is, you know, a guy that makes these viruses and genetic things, and he was focused on, like, if you haven't played the other Resident Evil games, Spencer's whole deal is immortality. He wants to be immortal, and like what this game, this whole thing with the research that Gideon was working on, it was about like trying to retain memories in death, or like try to transfer memories and all this stuff, so that theoretically when Spencer was still alive, his consciousness or memories could have been transferred to another being. So that's what that's all about. But yeah, so I think that they honestly kind of justifiably so, when they didn't know what Elpis was, and Elpis was taken away from Spencer, they thought Elpis was this ultimate weapon, this ultimate virus. And the key to it was this girl that he just mysteriously started caring for at the end of his life. And that there had to be something special about the girl, and due to Spencer's history, it had to be something genetic.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Buy it. What's up with these weird robot girls? Why are they robots?
Are they robots? I thought
Are
they
they
were just
robots? No, I
I
think
thought they were
it's
clones. They're
yeah, they
failed
say
clones.
that it's
Didn't they have like
it's an after effect of the cloning technique.
For whatever reason they read as robots to me. I thought when they moved, I heard like a maybe not.
No, they're
like
not
the red
robots.
eyes too.
But they are a hive mind, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
So they do communicate with each other. And yeah, Chloe. I don't know. Is it ever confirmed if Chloe becomes another one of them? At the end.
It's not. I don't think it's ever revealed what happens to Chloe at all.
Yeah, because Chloe and the child, the girl, are like the most successful they've ever been, ideally, to cloning Grace.
Right. They said one of the doctors says get rid of her at the end, but that's the most we get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that implies like they at least thought they were getting closer, but not quite, and just they're all expendable to them. So it's pretty dark. I really like this section though. It was it had nice little creepy elements to it. Being a small child is somehow scarier than Grace. Like, I didn't like that.
So how do we feel about how this retcons the reason for why Raccoon City was nuked?
I like it. I like it. I think it's good.
Yeah, I like it too. It does feel a little extreme, but at the same time it's Resident Evil.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it fits right along with the rest of the nonsense. So I'm good with it.
Right. No, I'm down.
And it does also put a lot more, because in Resident Evil 6, at the beginning of the game, like basically the reason why there is a zombie apocalypse at the beginning of Resident Evil 6 is because the president that was the guy who was president at the time was going to reveal this. He was going to expose why Raccoon City was nuked. And that's why they just send in a virus to kill him before he can do that.
Interesting.
And I don't think at the time it was necessarily this. I think it was probably more about exposing more of Umbrella's secrets. But I do like this kind of retcon of that moment of like, oh, this was actually way deeper than anyone ever knew.
So let's chug along. We're back. We're controlling Leon, and he confronts Zeno and Grace, and now it's time for the return of everybody's
Favorite
bad
guy.
guy. Favorite guy. Tyrant's back, and he's real mad.
He doesn't have a
And,
hat this time.
Doesn't have a hat.
Yeah.
There is a mod to give him the hat back.
I didn't love this.
I
didn't
loved
love
it.
this.
I like this a lot.
I think the chase section's fine. It feels a little
Mhm.
weird. It's like, oh, you run this way, and then he breaks down a wall, and then you run back, you run the other way, he breaks down that wall,
Mm.
and then you run back the way you were originally going, and now you can get through that way. That I don't know. The design, because the building is dilapidated and it's not as open as it normally is, it felt like an homage to 2, which is great. I like it, but like, I don't know. It was a little lackluster for me. Oh, did we lose Dennis?
No.
Oh no, there he is. Okay, you froze for me for a second. Yeah, I don't know. This didn't work for me the way I wanted it to.
Yeah, I'm glad that it didn't overstay its welcome. I
Yeah.
thought it was a nice homage, and like, it's like, if we're gonna bring us back to Raccoon City, if we're gonna go back to RPD, you got to bring back the X. You know, you kind of just have to,
especially since it is established canon that there are a lot of these tyrants,
right?
and they have showed up
So,
in
like-
other spin-off titles as well. So,
But this has got like the way they set this up. Maybe I read it wrong, but it felt like they were just kind of like this is him. Like,
no, this is a
Right?
different tyrant.
no, okay,
They're just on the
Okay.
market. If you look at a file in the
Yeah.
art section,
Yeah.
they also set a price for it. I think it's 100 million or something. So yeah, you just buy. It's like a new
The
iPhone,
fact that-
basically.
Yeah,
He just
Oh.
holds like a rocket, and he's just like, wee.
yeah,
Like,
Doesn't
there's
he-
some silliness in this fight.
yeah.
this fight sucks.
No, I like this. I like this boss fight. I mean, I love just I love like what it like represents, like this whole idea of like Leon can't escape his past to the point where Mr. X
Here we go again.
Mr. X like metaphorically resurrects himself to haunt Leon. Like, I love this from that perspective. And this boss fight I think is awesome. And I think Leon says, like, in this point, he says at some point, like, I will kill you as many times as I have to.
Yeah.
He
I did like
can't
that
escape his past, but he can parry literally anything with an X, and that's like that part of the fight. I don't know. I
Well,
kind of relied pretty heavily on that in this fight. and,
Yeah, no,
like,
I did too, but I actually like that a lot because it shows Leon's growth as well. Like, back in Resident Evil 2, Mr. X was a really difficult enemy. And like the Super Tyrant fight at the end of the game is a really tough fight. And there is even a move that he can do where he one shots you and there's nothing you can do other than move away from it. And here you can deflect every single thing he does. And I think that just shows, I think it's a really cool way to show how much more powerful Leon has become in like the almost 30 years since this last encounter.
I had a lot of fun with this fight, but I will say it was kind of janky. Because there would be times where Tyrant would just kind of like be following me, and then he would just kind of stand there, and I'd be like, "The fuck you doing, bro?" So I'd be shooting him, and then he picks up a car and kind of waits a little bit, so I'm still just shooting him. Then he throws it, and the car hits another car, and I haven't moved, and I'm just kind of laughing at it. I'm just like, "What are you doing, guy?" Like,
you can just like literally just stand there, just pop it with shotgun shells the
Like-
entire fight.
it's kind of just like silly janky, but like I still had fun with it.
Yeah.
It was a very run of the mill boss fight, but like for the reasons of like the hype of like it's pulling on my nostalgia string, so I was like super up on it and stuff, and like I just kind of like the vibes of it. And plus, again, Leon is such a dumb action hero anyway that it's just like the jankiness was like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. Not my favorite.
Yeah, I again, like, it's an easy fight. It from a
It's a very
gameplay
easy fight.
perspective, it's not necessarily very interesting, but I love what it represents from like
Yeah.
the narrative
But
and like metaphorical
all-
angle.
And it was in and out. It didn't
That-
overstay.
Yeah, it didn't
That's the
overstay its
problem though
welcome.
for me, is that all of Leon's fights feel like easy fights. Like I don't feel like I was ever pressed or challenged in any of his boss fights, and I kind of
Yeah, I mean, you
kinda
can play
want
it
it to
on.
be.
You can just increase the difficulty.
You know, I mean, there's something to be said about playing a game on its intended difficulty. You know,
Yeah,
I think he's just that badass. Nothing's hard.
Yeah.
I don't think it's successful in like that whole section. The way I said it was underwhelming before. I don't think it's successful in achieving what you're seeing in it, Dennis. Because it feels like if you want me to understand that Leon is both able to move on from Raccoon City, but it's also a much different man, you either give me the same tools that he had originally and you just make me do it differently, like survive this part differently, or you like very heavily change the mechanics of it in a way. So I almost wanted the Mr. X fight to be more gimmicky in a way, to make it feel more like, yeah, you were a big challenge 5 games ago, and now you're just a run-of-the-mill piece of shit. That would have had a bigger impact on me. Like the same Mr. X that gave me so much issues in Resident Evil 2 remake that I couldn't, really feel like I escaped from him anytime during the game. Now it's I can dispose of him really quickly. That would have felt way deeper and way more impactful if they actually made it even easier than it was, because it felt really clunky, and for me it felt a little bit too long, that fight, in a way. Again, it felt like a sort of a Resident Evil knockoff more than a main game. But again, maybe when it's based on nostalgia, maybe we can see different things in the same kind of section in a way. And I'm happy that you, Dennis, found something positive about it. But it really felt like it was there just to be there as a section, more or less.
Let's see. What's next?
the flowers, right?
Yeah, the subway and the flowers, and then you go to Ark.
Something I love about this, because this is plant 43, I believe.
Right.
45.
No, it's 43. I know it's
Yeah, I
3.
think 43 is right.
Okay, then it's 43.
So something I love about this is that in the remake of Resident Evil 2, they did not address Plant 43 like they did in the original. And I think this entire fight is supposed to be like, oh shit, this is the remake timeline. Leon didn't kill Plant 43, and therefore it grew a lot.
That's awesome.
That's nice.
I think that's what the entirety of Plant 43 is supposed to be. Like,
Yeah,
it's
this is a
clear
good
also by like the RPD that this is clearly, like, the remake is clearly what's canon.
The scale of the section you're moving through in this part of the game is really cool.
Yeah, it's a nice change of pace and something different in the game, and it again doesn't overstay its welcome. You're kind of in and then through it.
Yeah, in and out real quick.
I would have done without it, to be honest.
Yeah. I didn't need it, but it's a nice little nod.
Yeah.
And then we're on to
I like kind of like how it what it represents, both like lore wise, like how he didn't kill Plant 43 in the remake and therefore it grew out like this, but also like what it means metaphorically of like from like a fandom perspective, like this was something that they removed from the remake and here they put it back, basically.
Yeah.
It's like, we know you guys didn't like that we removed this, so here it is. But like in a much more lore consistent way than, for example, Chewbacca just randomly gets a medal in episode 9.
All right, let's keep pushing. Last section of the game. We're at the lab. We are. Are we back?
As
in control of
most
Grace
Resident Evil
immediately?
games end. In the
Yeah,
lab.
and this is where like I in past Resident Evil games, it's not that I lose interest, but like the story this is where the story starts going off the rails, and where I just
As
kind
per
of miss
usual, by the way.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is every Resident Evil game. It's
And then there was a more bigger, secreter umbrella base
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah,
it always
This-
happens.
this lab section is cool though. I like it. It does the exact same thing as Rhodes Hill, as where like you start off as Grace and then you get to do the revenge play as Leon. And man,
Mhm.
it's even better because I hate the liquors. I've
Dude.
hated the liquors since
Oh,
RE2 remake,
Man.
and they suck as Grace. And when you come back through as Leon, because I didn't kill a single one of them as Grace, getting to take revenge on those liquors feels incredible.
Yeah.
It's just like, I hate you. Please die. Like,
By the way, did you guys see the room where it all like the creatures are like listed as products
Yep.
with like
Mhm.
product
Yeah.
descriptions and stuff like that? And I love
Biological
how it
warfare.
says love how it says like on the liquor of like initially it was like a like an unintended mutation of the T
Yeah.
virus, but then through experimentation they learned how to specifically trigger it and weaponize it.
That's why it's beta 2, right? It's
Mm.
called like Liquor Beta 2 something.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
I love the liquors in this, and it, again, it's like if you're gonna be playing a Resident Evil as Leon Kennedy back in Raccoon City, let him lick it up. Gotta happen.
Look it up.
I hate it.
And-
But I want to
hate
play
it.
this
I
section
don't-
with mods as well, because I don't know if you've seen, but you can add Michael Jackson's sounds to the liquors, and they just
Dude.
work.
Did
Uh,
anybody have trouble with the elite soldiers? Because I did. Those
The
guys
what?
sucked.
With
the
the what?
elite soldier guys.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that was pretty
They
hard.
fucked me up, man.
I
Man.
like that a lot. It would change the tone so
Yeah.
drastically.
Like,
Yeah.
like it was. This is where I realized in the game, like, oh man, I'm not super stealthy, like movement wise, as I thought I was. Because
Also, I'm not a superhero. I am very
Yeah.
prone to bullets.
But
Yeah.
then you can kind of Last of Us 2 and turn the liquor on the dudes at one point. It was
Yeah,
really
that
Oh,
was awesome.
I didn't know that.
Mhm.
That's
yeah. You
really
can
cool.
shoot the tank in the second section, but they kill him pretty quickly. I mean, at
Yeah.
least for me, they killed him pretty quickly.
I used it more as like a distraction.
Yeah,
It made me I think not necessarily at the time, but more like in hindsight, like it made me think a lot about like how in spoilers for The Last of Us Part 2, when you fight Ellie, and like how in that moment she feels like you're playing against a player. And I did feel similarly here, where like these enemies felt so much more competent than most video game enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they actually felt intimidating and like, oh, I need to pay attention. I need to try here.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of,
in that,
like, go ahead.
I lost it. Sorry. Go ahead.
Like, speaking of the Last of Us comparisons, like I feel like, especially the Ellie fight, the boss fight here with the commander,
Hank.
It
Wait,
Yeah.
is that
feels-
canonically Hunk?
I think they say somewhere it's Hank. Yeah,
So I was trying to
because
you
look
don't-
it up,
you-
and he's
you
just
can't
called the
find it.
commander.
you can find his body if you go back to the room once you win that fight. So it's implied that they get the body back, and because it's that's Hank or something.
This is
That's
the
cool.
the standout Leon boss fight for me. I love this fight. I love the way it flips everything on its head, and like you feel like I shouldn't use guns here. Like, and you kind of get punished for using guns a little bit too. Like the axe versus or hatchet versus hatchet fight or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It just
That's
feels
cool.
really cool. It's real
Feels
fun.
also
But that's
like
the
a
Krauser
reference.
fight
Yeah,
all over again, right?
exactly. I was gonna say it feels like a reference to the Krauser fight.
Mhm.
Yeah. Resident Evil 4. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that fight. And I like that Leon gave him mad props. He's like, man, that guy was pretty strong.
Yeah.
And Sherry's just like, oh wow, that's a compliment coming from you. And I'm like, yeah.
And
You
this
should-
section is also able to shift like the danger in a way, because as we said before, you can use the liquor to distract them, right? But the fact that if you think about it, you're using a liquor as a distraction. So how fucking good are these guys?
Right.
And they're actually
exactly.
good. Like, yeah. As Danny
Yeah.
said, they're really competent, and I didn't feel in danger when I was surrounded by leakers. I felt more in danger when I was within the area of effect of those guys. Especially the shield guy is a very competent one.
Is this the first time in the Resident Evil series where you fight humans?
I don't think they're humans though, but
I think
elite
they're
soldiers?
humans. Yeah.
you can go free cam in it, and it seems like they're infected as well, but just with a different strain. They're just like super
Oh.
soldiers.
Interesting.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
That
That makes
well,
sense.
Resident Evil 5 and 6 do have infected enemies with
Mhm.
weapons, so it is something that is established.
Oh, we mean we encountered the weapons, them using the machine guns in Raccoon City. So
Using them really
Oh,
well, by the
yeah.
way.
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Man, I really love this whole lab section is really cool. I don't think it does necessarily anything that's like super stand out from the rest of the game or even the series, but like it's a Resident Evil game, it has to in there. But I did love the fact that this game does make you stealth with the girl with lighting, and now you have the stealth with sound. I think that's a cool, like, nice little mix up for it, where it's just like now some areas have like glass you have to like peruse around, and
Yeah.
this game does not have nearly enough like empty bottles or things to throw. Like the entire time I'm just like trying to like just sneak barely past somebody, like it's
Oh yeah,
kinda stupid.
did you guys get the I don't know, I don't remember if it's
You're
an
gonna say the thing
achievement,
I'm gonna
but
say. Yeah, go ahead.
it's like at least one of the challenges or whatever they call it in the game where you can parry the liquor to cut his tongue off.
Yeah.
No, I didn't get that.
Whoa,
dude,
no,
I got that.
That's cool.
That's
Yeah, so
cool.
like when it gets the tongue at you, you can parry it to cut his tongue off.
I never got close enough without a shotgun in my hand.
The liquors were very easy to sneak past. I did notice. I felt a lot more like humbled when playing against them in the lab section in RE2 remake. Whereas here, like, I don't feel like I had much trouble where I couldn't just wait and get like sneak right past them. I didn't have to kill any of them.
You know what's funny is I alerted them way more than I wanted to, but like one thing that kind of was broken on the game, and I don't know if you guys ever save scum in these games, but I save way too often in it, and like to the point where like if I save and like I have one of those panic moments and waste a lot of ammo, I'm like, okay, enemy, just kill me and I'll come back. I tried to get the
never-
liquor to kill me, and the liquor had to hit me like 7 or 8 times
Yeah.
before I was dead. I was like, okay, this is it kind of broke my like fear from it just a little bit, where I was like, oh, I thought it would be like a 1-2 hit kill. But no, I was like, man, will you kill me already? Like, damn.
Yeah, I never do that really. I did make a lot of saves in this one though, because one
Yeah.
thing that I regret a lot from going through all the Resident Evil games is that I always I always do this when I play games. I just save over the last save.
Yeah.
But the only reason I regret it is because I want to make that video we've been talking about.
You need B-roll.
Yeah, and I need
Yeah.
B-roll, and I wish I had
That's
saves to go back
Yeah,
to.
some save states. Yeah, I usually only do it if I'm like still really close to the save point, where it's just like, well, I wasted 4 shotgun blasts when I could have just knifed this guy. Let me just reload my save. But yeah, and then the 2 little crystal ball things, that was fun.
was cool.
'Cause overall this section was solid to me. I loved it. And
And then
then we get to the reveal.
It was all a dream.
it was all a dream.
Leon wakes up first day at the RPD.
Oh yeah, how did you guys feel like when you first of all, incredible security issue. Grace, why do you put the fucking USB drive or whatever it was into their computer? Incredible security issue. Like, this is something that Alyssa died for, and you just put it into the enemy's computer. But okay. Also,
like,
what is the interface that they use? Like,
that's what I was just thinking. Like, and also like the fact that these are on like these little mini discs, like nothing plays those anymore.
Oh yeah,
what
it was
are we
a
doing?
disc. Yeah. So I mean, I love this whole like the video of the interview with Spencer. Like I can totally understand how this maybe doesn't have as much weight if you haven't played particularly like 1 or 5. But like I thought it was so cool to like see this interview with him and like not knowing this like what his deal was, because like initially you're thinking like why is basically the most evil man in the history of Resident Evil speaking to a journalist?
Yeah.
And then you start to realize why. It's because he regrets everything he did, and that Elpis is the requiem for his sins.
Mm-hmm.
The
if
requiem
only I
for
had picked
everyone
up
he
on
hurt.
that when I first watched it, because it didn't.
Kind of true.
Well, yeah. So speaking of, which ending did you all pick first?
Destroy.
The correct one.
Destroy.
Enrico, you picked Hope?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I picked Destruction. Mainly because like so
I made a promise to Leon.
Yeah, like the way I felt like I as much, even though I did find the interview, I felt like he was being sincere.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could feel that, but at the same time, knowing everything he's done, I didn't believe him. So I picked Destruction. And then when you realize that this is the bad ending, and the game tells you like, oh, you want to go back and get the real one, that's like, for me, like that's when it hit. Like, oh,
yeah,
he was
same,
being sincere, and that just made the entire thing hit in a whole new way for me.
Yeah, I think I just kind of felt the gamification of it there, where it's like destroying it's the bad ending. Like I don't know, I feel like I kind of read that, like, and it was like I'm just gonna get the bad ending real quick, and then I'll go back and get the actual ending when I'm.
No, I was sitting there like fucking, what do I pick? Like I don't know. Like I was sitting there like fucking trying to think like which is the right ending.
And I wasn't really thinking of it like one's gonna be good, one is gonna be bad. I guess I wasn't really thinking on that playing field. But like in my head, all I could think was like, man, I made the promise to Leon that like no matter what, I would end this, and that was all I could think about at the moment.
And yeah, then, I should know, I didn't think about it in terms of good and bad ending. I was thinking now which is the right choice.
Yeah, and then by the way, for anybody that hasn't played this and is listening to the Spoilercast, the bad ending is basically we destroy Elpis. And Leon saves Grace, but stays behind because the infection's so bad and gets his fucking heads blown out.
Yeah, Sino has this like fucking 300 feet long gun and just fucking
like brutally just
the moment I saw that was like, this has to be the bad ending. Like there's no way they would do Leon this dirty.
I was convinced that was just it, and I'm like, man, that sucks. And the way that, because it straight up is an ending, because like you get credits and everything, but the way that it's just like the last thing is like, man, I wish we could have saved Leon as she gets on that helicopter, and then it just ends. I'm like, I was legitimately like, that was a terrible ending. That sucked, like because it was so abrupt and everything, and then like of course you literally have to wait through all the credits. And then you see the splash screen of you completing it before it gives you an option. Hey, you can reload the save. It doesn't feel like necessarily like a game over screen, but that's what it plays off as. Like it almost seems like just gotcha, let's go back. But I could see myself in another night because I was so tired being like, damn, that ending sucked. Boop, turn off the PlayStation and just never know.
That's
Yeah.
I think that's why they prompt you with the whole like, do you
Yeah.
want to go back?
I just feel like they waited too long for that
Yeah,
prompt.
I get
It's
that.
a little weird.
So
but then-
Enrico, since you picked Hope first time, do they
Mhm.
prompt you with that then of going back?
No.
That's what I
Oh,
thought.
Oh,
Wow. Okay.
interesting.
That's very
If they didn't
interesting.
patch it, because of course I finished it the day it came out, but it doesn't prompt you to go back.
So if you don't have a recent save, you can go back to
No
see
one
that
wants
ending
to
kinda
see it
sucks.
anyway.
You can still do
Like,
continue,
why?
and you spawn back when Grace is trying to
Mm.
reach Leon. When
Oh,
he's
okay.
leaning back on the
Yeah.
golden door. Great use of color, by the way, because I love the
Oh, it's
gold
awesome.
of it all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
awesome. There was one thing that Grace said that I didn't pick up on until I chose the bad ending, where it never occurred to me because I was like, I made that promise to Leon, but she literally tells you as they're walking up, like, hold on, I've got an idea. And Leon's like, I trust you. And right there, I was like, that's where I made my mistake. I wasn't paying attention in that moment.
Yeah.
That Grace knew ahead of time that this is like what she needs to do is actually save Elpis or release. Like I thought that was really cool that they let that in there to basically tell the player like, yo, you gotta think about the video and what would her idea be.
Yeah.
That's one of the
what would be
reasons
to
I
release
chose
it.
Hope. Like, because
Yeah.
I felt like I really liked the character of Leon here, but I felt it's not a negative thing, but it's kind of a
Mhm.
realization. Like, he's a hammer, so everything is a nail, right? So
Mhm.
the only way he is able to interact with things right now is, yeah, I try to save people, but mostly I want to destroy everything that's Umbrella and anything around it. While Grace as a character is more about solving things in a therapeutic way more than just shooting your way out of things. So it felt like, at least for me at that moment, it felt like Grace's need to, I mean, Grace's option to choose Hope was the right way to go in a way, because it kind of represents it. Like in a world where Leon destroys everything and the zombies are everywhere and whatever, she still chooses to save the girl. I mean, she still tries to save Emily in the middle of all that mess. And I don't think any of us would be able to make that choice.
Mhm.
Put in the same situation, like I'm in a care center full of zombies, and I'm gonna risk my life, like jumping in a black hole to save the girl. Like it's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a hopeful thing. Like it's I don't know. It's a different way to approach what the Resident Evil world is like after all these games, and it felt organic to it, at least to me in that moment.
I also think like it is we don't know how Leon would have reacted to watching that video. Maybe he would have been like, "Oh, I'm wrong." But I also think that the game kind of implies that it is because of Grace's inexperience and lack of bias against Spencer that allows her to believe him.
Yep.
True.
I didn't
I,
expect the dual ending here at all, and
Me
I
neither.
really
Yeah,
kind of
same. They've
really
never-
appreciate it after the fact, but like in the moment, I hated it. But like on reflection, I'm like, man, I'm kind of glad. Like that's kind of a cool, neat little twist on it.
So,
So-
am I the only one who thinks it's a little bit of a missed opportunity that the good password wasn't Requiem?
Yeah, same.
Oh.
I was actually let down by both of the password choices. I know the destruction one is just any password that's wrong, but like I was hoping for a little more like clever wordplay.
Like a D's nuts jokes or something.
I wanted the password to be password, just to be.
It's also worth noting that destruction isn't the bad password. She could have
Right.
written anything,
She could put
and
any
that
of
would
it.
have
She could
happened.
put anything. But I mean, they developers chose destruction. It would be cool if it was something a little more clever.
But
Especially
like,
also
he
since
was watching
since-
her put it in, so like she could have come up with something that seemed more convincing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Ligma.
Yeah, exactly.
But
So,
I do
speaking
think Requiem could have been the password because, and that's
Yeah.
what I thought, because he says Requiem. Elpis is
But
a
it's-
requiem for the people.
It's too
I've
hard
hurt
of a
or
word
whatever
to
he
spell
said.
to be a password.
This speaks back to the thing I wanted to comment when we were talking about Emily mutating, because it's a small thing, but Elpis in Greek, it's not just hope, it's the expectation of something good happening, which is slightly different than hope. It's like, because hope, it's like
Oh.
a prayer in Latin, right? It's spes, I think it's. I did a little bit of Latin in high school. Like spes is a pray that something good is going to happen, and that's how they translate hope in Latin. But in Greek, they're giving it more of a purposeful kind of choice. Like you're kind of sure that something's good is going to happen. And the fact that Spencer called this virus Elpis, and the fact that it was, trying to reproduce it in Grace's clones and whatever, works for me 150% in Emily's case. Because if you noticed in the last cutscene when they talk about Emily, right? And Leon says, yeah, I haven't hit any of her vital organs. You see that Emily's mutation, it's like around her, it's not within her. So the mutation was trying to protect her from whatever was happening, the same way that the girl was trying to protect the child. So it speaks to the fact that Elpis might have worked badly in the child, the girl and whatever, like mutating them, but in the almost perfect version of it, which was Emily, it worked as a protection system. So it actually achieves, in a way, what probably Spencer wanted it from it, which is do not work as a weapon, but work as a shield, more or less. That was a point that I wanted to make before when we were talking about Emily.
That's cool. I didn't think
yeah,
about that.
I didn't
It's a
see it
very
that
ugly
way.
shield.
Yeah. All right. So let's wrap up, because almost as synonymous, maybe even more synonymous, with the end of Resident Evil games is the the weird scientific lab, which I'm not sure who's cleaning that thing, but it's pristine. Is the giant goo monster boss fight at the end of every single Resident Evil game. How do we feel about
also like another thing that they just randomly throw in there is that
as a nemesis,
Victor Victor Gideon is a nemesis.
Yep.
Which is the 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was one of my questions to Lore Master Dennis. Like, when did Leon encounter a nemesis? Because he wasn't in 3, right?
No, but he probably would have heard about it. I mean, canonically, all of the Resident Evil main characters are friends.
Okay.
So I mean, Jill
So
would
they
have
have a
told
WhatsApp chat
him
and
about
they
it.
just
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Not to mention that he would have probably been briefed on everything that happened in Raccoon City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how did you feel about
never
that?
encountered a nemesis?
Yeah.
But
how did you feel about the boss fight? Because I felt a little bit sad about it in a way, because Gideon was just a great character and now it's just a mass of flesh.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, they mistreated my favorite character of this game.
So it says here on Gideon's page on Resident Evil Wiki, prior to October 2026, Gideon implanted himself with a newly modified Nemesis Gamma parasite in his chest, allowing him to retain his mind while giving him the strength and durability of a traditional to that of Nemesis.
So it's the third version of the Nemesis we saw in 3. Okay, makes sense.
It does.
I know.
Also, another interesting lore thing regarding Nemesis. Nemesis is
vegan.
Exactly.
No. Nemesis, I believe, is a tyrant, but also with a parasite. And we know parasites specifically all
Las Plagas.
They come from Las Plagas. And there's actually some really interesting. It is in Resident Evil 3 remake. There are a lot of notes that you can find there. Really interesting from like Umbrella researchers that actually think that experimenting with parasites is immoral and bad, which is very interesting coming from Umbrella scientists. But I find that super interesting, like how even people working on such bad things like creating
There's a line,
viruses, like,
Dennis.
there's a line. There's a line, and
Yeah.
like, you know, like, yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I like that detail.
I think the fight is fine. It's just like, again, at this point, I found out there's a different ending. I'm just trying to get through it. I'm like, I want to know what happens now that I know that there's a cure, basically, for who knows how many viruses it cures. Like, it's kind of unclear because, like, it's clearly curing advanced ones, older ones, probably everything except for parasitic ones. So, like me, I'm just like, I don't give a shit about this boss fight right now. I just want to get through and see how this actually wraps up. It was fine though.
I was hoping for something more. I think the boss fight's rushed. It's over too quickly. The first phase where you're just kind of running around with Gideon in his normal form. I just felt like I could just pump shotguns shells into him, and it was done like before I knew it started. The giant goo mutation was a giant goo mutation. I didn't feel one way or the other about it.
It's what always happens in a Resident Evil game.
And then his one-liner at the end left a little bit to be desired too. This time you won't be coming back. And it's like you could have did better than that. Like,
did you want a Fast and Furious kind of? This time is about family, kind of.
Yeah.
Here's your I needed a Requiem line. Use the line of the game. Use the title of the game in the finishing line. You know.
It felt a little bit unfair in a way because it's narratively speaking. Because I like the way that Gideon reacts to Elpis being a cure.
Yeah, I was also a bit confused by that. Like, I thought Sino was gonna be the boss, and that Gideon just completely turns because he realizes that the guy that he idolizes actually
tricked him.
Yeah, and he respects that. But that is actually one of my big questions. Like, why are we still fighting Gideon?
It's too far gone.
Because like, it seems pretty clear that like when he learns about the truth of Elpis, he's like, "Ah, dude, I respect that, bro. That's pretty cool. I like that."
Recognizes game, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel it would still use it as a weapon in a way. I like to dangle over nations and such. That could be it.
I mean, there's conspiracies that there's cures for cancer right now. They're just all hiding.
I mean,
all right.
If there's a cure for cancer, it's certainly in America, and it's just not financially a good idea to release it. What does Sino die? I don't remember.
Yeah, he gets beheaded.
Yeah, Gideon kills him.
Oh yeah,
decapitates him like really quickly.
He gets stabbed with Elpis. So he gets cured. He's like, "No, my
he
powers!" Which again,
he uses
terrible
it on himself,
acting.
right?
Just awful. No, Grace stabs him, right?
Yeah. No, he uses Elpis on himself.
It gets decapitated, right?
Yeah. But before that, he uses Elpis on himself because he thinks
it's going to be a weapon.
Yeah.
No,
that's right.
That's I think it's the bad ending. In the right ending, Grace keeps one and uses it on Leon, and that's it. I think.
No, the bad ending, they don't get the.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly, what happens is that he uses on himself. He starts to lose his powers. He thinks he's gonna get stronger. Grace sees that, realizes it's a cure, and uses it on Leon. Isn't that the order of operations?
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, because he's like, finally. Because he's like, oh no, my powers.
No, my teleportation powers are gone. They were so cool.
So Resident Evil 9 is anti-vax propaganda? Is that what you're saying?
Nailed it. All right.
I mean, if anything, isn't it Vax propaganda?
Yeah, of course, but yeah.
Let's conclude. It's we're Curly, you're a trooper. So sorry, man.
I'm gonna die.
Well, I
Uh,
want to know one thing. You guys think it's weird that the thing that gives you more health is literally called steroids?
it is.
What?
What?
As
As
Grace.
Grace, yeah.
Yeah.
In the
She
beginning of the
uses
game.
herbs. What do you mean?
No, but
No, the
you can
the yellow.
have a bigger health bar in a way with the steroids.
Oh, yeah, the
Oh, right.
It's like-
stabilizers and steroids.
Yeah, like I feel like should we really put a positive spin on steroids? Is that really
Steroids
where
have
we want to
posi-
go with
Yes,
this?
steroids are
have
fine as
positive
long as you're not
uses.
roiding. You know.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Which I mean,
but yeah.
technically, I was because I crafted like 3 more of them Johns.
Before wrapping this up, though, I appreciate, Dennis, that you got to the steroids. While I'm still thinking, it's a care center. What are we doing with a casino in it?
Yeah.
But
Well,
I don't understand.
yeah, I figured like the east area is like the actual hospital area, and the west area is some form of like kind of
like hanging out doctors area.
yeah, like
kinda?
I
Yeah, 'cause
would
there's like a parlor. There's a
Yeah.
there's a kitchen.
my guess is
a
like this
lounge.
is where like the staff lives,
Okay.
maybe.
Yeah.
Or like that patients can go to or something like that, because it is called a
We're gonna
care
rob
center.
you
It's
for
not
the
necessarily
insurance and gambling.
yeah, like it's not I'm thinking they probably it's like supposed to be a place where the patients can go and just have fun and relax or whatever, probably.
Yeah. That's
I just
fair.
haven't seen any care center with a roulette in it. I guess
Yeah.
I need to get to better care centers.
You gotta go to America. That's where you're sick and you've already paid all your money to survive, and then why don't you lose some more money on roulette? Why don't you get
There you
more in
go.
debt? Everybody,
Yeah.
this is a great choice. Why don't you also
Gambling
go
does
around
not
the
go
place and
towards
find
your
antique
deductible.
coins and put them in a thing to get steroids in the back?
Also a pamphlet on how to use infected blood.
And the doctors are named after constellations, I guess, or planets or whatever, like Sun
Yeah.
and Moon. But
The,
before dropping off, in us talking about the game for 3 hours and a half, did your kind of score on it change in any way in this 3.5 hours?
Still 10 for me.
Yeah, I mean, I said at the top, like, while I have like critiques and some issues, I don't ever treat like top of the scale as necessarily perfection.
Exactly.
I do stand by it. This is the best survival horror game I've ever played. I think it's at the top of what Resident Evil can be and has ever been. So like to me it's still a 10. Granted, I do have some issues here and there, but like everything that I have issues with, either I either kind of grew on me, or at some point I'm like I kind of like this or that. And it's like I don't know. I love this game so much. Yeah.
Yeah. I think my review did the same thing here that it did during my playtime. Whereas like when we were talking about the first half of the game, I was like, man, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is a 10. And then we started talking about the back half
Second
section of the
part.
game. It's just like, no, it's a 9.5.
Yeah.
Just remember the good parts, Ryan.
Yeah.
Like in any relationship.
Yeah.
I'm looking at like my top 10 games of all time, and I mean I would consider each and every one of these a 10. Regardless, I have issues with pretty much all of them. So yeah, and I don't think any issues that I have with Requiem is enough to want me to dock it. So yeah.
My only eternal challenge is comparing this to RE4 remake, because I really hate the last part of that game, but I really love the first 2/3 of RE4.
What do you hate about the
Um,
end of 4?
the whole island is superfluous for
Oh
me.
yeah,
Like,
you know,
it
it's
shouldn't be there. But it's absolutely like in the top 3. Like, if I think of, I haven't played Silent Hill F yet, but if I think of Silent Hill 2 remake, Chronos, and this, it's absolutely like the triangle of perfection for survival horrors, at least
How
recently. But
about some Alan Wake 2 in there, huh?
Yeah, where's
it's a little bit lower. I think it's it's an adventure with horror elements in it, more or less. Yeah.
That's
All
like
right.
You
one of the
see,
most
Curly, this
intense
is
games I've
the
ever
problem
played.
with Alan Wake 2 is that it's not a PlayStation exclusive. That's why it's not a 10 for Enrico.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Oh yeah, we did not talk about the epilogue.
Right.
So we learn that Grace has adopted Emily. She still works as the FBI.
Also, Emily's cured of blindness as well.
With Elpis, I guess, because the blindness was virus related.
It's weird. I don't know.
Do we think her name is now Emily Ashcroft?
Yeah.
Probably.
I think we're gonna play as Emily in one of these games in the
Yeah.
future. It's gonna be awesome. She might have some powers somehow for whatever reason. The infection returns.
They're gonna make like a Young Avengers thing with Emily and Rose from
Yeah.
Resident
And
Evil
Rose,
8.
yeah.
And then Sherry's gonna be the Leon character, like an old badass woman.
Let's see. Oh yeah, and then Chris makes some comment about like I'll probably run into Chris, or Leon makes
Yeah.
some.
Leon.
I'll probably run into Chris at some
Man.
point.
I know there's probably a reason like Chris is off on a fucked up adventure right now, but like how cool it would have been if it was him instead of some messenger.
So the guy that
Yeah.
shows up there, he's Umber Eyes from Hound Wolf Squad, who is in Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, that's not as cool as Chris.
Yeah, I do. It would have been cool if Chris showed up there. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not like that hasn't happened before. I mean, Chris just like
Right.
fucking helicopters in the end of Resident Evil 7. It's basically
Yeah.
like the only thing in Resident Evil 7 that is like, oh, this is a Resident Evil game.
Resident Evil.
Did you guys read Grace's report?
Her report?
Yeah, when
It's
you
like bonus content. That
when you
get
play the game, when you play the game, it shows like, oh, you've unlocked Grace's report. It is a 60-page report on what happened to
Oh, it's everything
But
that
it's
she
not a
turned
page.
in.
It's
That's
like
the
every.
FBI.
the way Curly's soul left his body just now was amazing.
it isn't like a book 60
Yeah,
pages. There are
a
60
manifesto.
pages, but like it's like maybe 3 to 4 paragraphs per page.
Here's my report, sir, and also my resignation. Go fuck yourself.
But it is so, I read the whole thing. It was so fucking interesting, dude. Like it goes
Yeah.
through the entire Resident Evil timeline, even before the first game.
Cool.
It's like basically says this report reveals that the established narrative of Raccoon City incident was falsified, and blah blah blah. To properly understand the truth, we must go back to the beginning of it all, 1968.
Whoa.
That's sick.
So awesome. Goes through like basically the entire history of Umbrella Corporation and all that. So sick. I loved reading this whole thing. I wish games did this more, where they just like basically explain everything in a text report that you unlock after
This
the
is my
game is
favorite thing
over.
to do in games, reading.
Yeah.
And I like that it's the report she's working on at the beginning of the game. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you survived this. Oh, I gotta finish that report. Yeah.
The fact that her chief didn't turn out to be a bad guy and he's just still there is like
There's still time. We still have more games coming.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a story
He
DLC.
could be in the connections. So
yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so let's say that I think his name is Nathan Dempsey. He says that he's not like part of the connections. So like, how did they get Grace specifically to go to Renwood?
didn't they say it in the file?
Did they?
Not in the final file. In the file you see in ARC, I think. Gideon made sure that they left enough hints through the homicide and the fact that it took place in the hotel to make sure that they would
planted
send
that
her.
body there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is kind of a stretch because again,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they very well
If
should have been like,
anything-
well, why don't we send you with some backup or something?
Yeah, and also like if
Gideon's like, "Oh, fuck,
anything,
I didn't anticipate that.
yeah, also if anything, it's like, oh, this is at Renwood. Maybe we shouldn't send Grace there.
It's like the last.
Yeah, it's like 8 years your mother died there. Why don't you go back and face your demons?
It's like,
Yeah.
so whoever called the body in, it's like, hey, we found a body. Face your fears, and they just hang up. Like,
Which
Like,
is
what
a
does
great
that
parallel with Leon going back to Raccoon City, but it's not exploited as I would have liked.
So
All right,
Curly,
we got.
if you want to read Grace's report later, you can do it in the game.
I'm gonna do it right now.
You can also do it if you scroll down to the bottom to the sources section on the plot page. There's a link to Grace's report there if you want to read it that way. But I know you're tired right now. But like,
Yeah, we got
later.
we got to conclude. Curly is going
Yes.
to die tomorrow. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you for the raid, Servial, Diego. I'd like to read through this, but I don't. They're all Servial raiders. They don't have their own names. Y'all know who you are. Leggy, Ditton. Thank y'all for joining us. Enrico, Dennis, Curly. Thank y'all for this 3.5 hour journey through first real Game of the Year contender of 2026.
Yep.
Let's make plans to get back to this the next time one of these big boys drops this year. So
we have to do the spoiler cast on Last of Us Part 2. By the way, Enrico, this is like a thing that when The Last of Us Part 2 came out, we said we should do a spoiler cast. It is now 6 years later.
which means 4 years from now will be a golden time to get that done.
No,
Thank
we're
you,
now
everybody.
waiting 4 years, dude. We are doing it this year.
Thank you, everybody. Y'all have a great night. We'll see y'all next time. Awkwardly wave goodbye, everybody.
Bye bye.
You gotta wave, Enrico. You gotta wave.